So you saying it shouldn't be a penalty for being in the college, game this week, but you think they will penalize them?
It's not the fact that I think they're going to penalize them. It's the fact that they have Alabama in such high regard. So I think they want Bama to make the football playoff. And I'm not going to lie, like Bama in the football playoff, it definitely makes it better because Bama got one of the biggest fan bases in the country. So I get why they want Bama in there for the viewership and the ratings and the money. But like the guy heading up the committee was like, we're not going to penalize you for being in your conference championship game. And so like this is like a whole trickle down effect because it's like if SMU loses, let's say they lose by like a touchdown or less, right? And they get put behind Bama, then next year whether it's 12 or 14 teams next year, if I'm a team that's right on the bubble of making it, like say I'm like the 10th or 11th team out of 14 that can make it. I mean, like I go to my conference, like I'm not playing this game, like because there's no because I'd be like, well, SMU got penalized last year, so why am I playing this game? Like I would refuse to play, and then I think that's something that the committee got to kind of understand is like if SMU loses by a touchdown or less, and you push them behind Bama, then that there's going to be that effect next year around this time where teams are going to be like teams that are in it right now. Going into championship weekend is going to tell their conferences, I'm not playing in this game. You know what I mean? Like you go ahead and put someone else in the game because I'm not playing in it.
Yeah, and it's taken away. Like for me, it's like if I make it to the conference championship, right? You're taking away my opportunity to get that bye for the playoff run because you just told me that the work that I put in to get to this point doesn't matter because you like a program more than mine. So yeah, to me, it's a real tricky effect that's gonna happen, especially with SMU. Like it's gonna be nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
I just think when you wake up tomorrow and they do the selection show during the NFL broadcast, like I think SMU got to win, man, just to secure their spot, man, just so you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because I think if they lose, you leave it up to the committee, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And Boise State already won last night, so Boise State is going to be one of them teams that get a bye, like because they're ranked higher. If like they're going to be ranked higher than any of the Big 12 teams that'll win today. So Boise going to be one of them top 4 seeds that gets a bye. Like that's pretty much going to happen. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation for them, SMU. Like, I mean, if they win, then it doesn't really matter. It's either way. But I mean, like like when it comes to college football, college basketball, man, like I always cheer for chaos. I mean, like when it don't involve my team, I'm gonna cheer for chaos. That's just me though.
So what's SMU's record?
I think SMU's 10-1.
10-1. I was just looking at it.
10-1 and lose the conference game.
They're
I don't
11-1. They're 11-1.
11. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
I mean,
I
it's
don't.
happened before, man. I mean, it's
Oh,
not.
nigga, I know. I know. Shit, yeah, I know. But I'm
Hmm.
just saying, man, it's just I knew this shit was gonna happen. That's why I wasn't even excited about it. It was just gonna be more, it was just gonna be expanded SEC good old boy bullshit.
But it's not even. This ain't even SEC, man. This is out. This is Bama to me. Bama got a brand outside. Like Bama brand versus SEC is even different. Like Bama, like I don't know too many. If you take the Bama name off of it and put any other SEC school and look at their resume, granted they beat my team, they beat Georgia, cool. But like Luke
They
getting
got smoked twice.
yeah, I mean getting your doors blown off by an OU team that wasn't even ranked, that was very injured, and then losing to Vanderbilt. I get it. Vanderbilt's a much better team this year, but Vanderbilt, if you watch the Vanderbilt Alabama game, Vanderbilt controlled that whole game. There wasn't
They
any
did.
was again where they didn't control it.
Shit, we was watching that shit on the show.
Yeah. So I just think if
I
you put any other school, like if you put like if that's Ole Miss, like that resume is Ole Miss or like Tennessee, they're not making it. Like they're just not. But it's more to me. It's more of an Alabama bias, than the conference to me.
Now I agree with you, JMIK, because this is not the first time the committee like low key said we trying to get them in there. Because I think
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember the year it happened, but Bama had two losses.
2023.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like you essentially got to look at last year. I mean, they
yeah, like
kind of pushed
it's
them
not
in
the
there.
first time that the committee
Right.
tries to get Bama in. It's not. This is the same hotel. So I'm not surprised that they're trying to pull some bullshit like this, bro.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Like Alabama is a brand everybody loves, especially really old white men. They really love Alabama. Um, but the whole point of expanding the playoffs is for some fucking parity. Is because we got tired of seeing fucking Alabama every fucking year. And here we are right back to where we were. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like when they originally started talking about expand, I was like, this shit ain't gonna fix nothing, man. They're gonna find a way or just flat out don't give a fuck and put Alabama and or Georgia in there, regardless if they did deserve to be in there. Period.
I
And
mean,
they've done it 2 years in a row. Now I threw Georgia in there, not to be spiteful, but I would say they top three on the good old boys list.
but then we
Um,
got left out last year though. We didn't get that Alabama shit they getting this year. Like we had a good resume last year and we got left out.
yeah, I
Because
mean
they
it
lost in
came
the championship
One
yeah,
game.
it
loss.
came down to
Yeah.
I think it came down to when y'all lost to Alabama and the fact that you did lose to Alabama. They was like, damn, we can't put both of them in.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'd even and I mean, like, I mean, that's at the point where we was, we was back to back champs at that point, and they didn't see fit to put us in. So I mean, the Bama thing to me, like, I mean, I've been, cheering for my team for a while. I've been in the SEC conference. I get it. There is SEC bias. I'm not gonna deny that. That's not what I'm gonna do. But there's a different kind of bias when it comes to Alabama, though. Like it's different. And I mean, like Pop could tell you because she cheered for LSU. The shit with Bama is just, I mean, Georgia, like we've been good the last like since Kirby got there, but we still don't get the pull that Bama get though.
Like the point, like case in point, we beat Bama when I think it was Jaden's first year. Yeah, first year with us. We beat Bama. Bama had two losses. In that playoff run, they were still trying to figure out how to get a two-loss Alabama into the playoffs that year. So it's something that they do all the time whenever Bama it doesn't have like a good quote unquote record, but you put them against like let's just say it was four teams, right? And you had uh Boise State with the record that they have. They'll try to put Bama above them if it was just four teams. Even though, in my opinion, Boise will be the highest ranked team. They played what group of five competition, Mountain West competition. So it is what it is. But they went toe to toe with the top team in the nation in Oregon.
Yep,
So
that's true.
and they will still try to put Alabama over them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I mean, Bama gets this buy, and like I thought when Saban would have left, the bias would have gone down a little bit, but it don't seem like it has at all. Seems like it's exactly the level that it was at, even when Saban was there. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, like I mean, I always cheer for chaos when it don't involve my team. I mean, Georgia's pretty much securely in this playoff. I mean, we're fifth right now, and even if we lose, we'll be like 9th or 10th or something like that. So we're firmly in it. So I'm not really concerned if we obviously I want to win our conference, but if we don't, we're still in it. But yeah, man, like I'm a Clemson, I'm a Clemson fan today. Like I just want to see, I want to force the committee's hand. I want to see what decision that they're gonna have to make.
I don't think it's that's the thing, man. I don't want to see the fucking committee making no goddamn decisions. Cause I know what they gonna do. I
Ye-
just want this shit to be like, bro, there's no way that we can justify this. That's
Yeah,
that's what I want.
yeah, but the thing is, if SMU wins, the committee don't have no hard decision because Clemson's already 17.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Clemson's
That's
Yeah,
outside
right.
the picture already. So if they
yeah.
You want
lose,
So
to know who I want to see win
Clemson
though?
wins, SMU is probably gonna drop, and then that's where it's gonna get
it's gonna be
tricky.
tricky. It's gonna get it's going
That
where
that that's where the trickiness is gonna come in because it's like now who you gonna put there, you
yeah,
know?
So Penn State is ranked 3 right now.
yeah. So I
Yes.
So
mean,
it is no way for Oregon or Penn State to fall out.
Nah.
No,
regardless.
Nah.
no,
Okay, all right.
they'll still be in it. They'll still be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
all right.
yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying.
So
Like
it got to be the bottom six for the
yeah,
upsets.
yeah. I mean, like
Yes,
the only thing you could have hoped for was when Boise played last night that they lost to UNLV. And if they had lost to UNLV, then that would have made the committee have to make another decision. But that didn't happen though. So
yeah, because
because I
Boise
think UNLV
State
was like
loses. Now you have what I think it's Army and UNLV now potentially the Group of Five winner.
yeah. So I mean,
So
so they'd had another decision to make whether to put UNLV in or Navy in or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like the only
yeah,
game you could look to is the ACC. That's the only game that's going to really change the playoff picture for Bama. I mean to see who's going to get in.
because essentially it's gonna be like if SMU loses, Bama is definitely probably gonna get slid into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think if SMU wins this, there's no chance for Bama not to make it.
Yeah,
I think Bama's. I mean, they in at right now, right? They 11, right? Or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yes. Yeah. So technically they're in right now. Technically, yeah.
yeah,
I don't see how they fall out.
I mean, they only fall out. See, they only fall out because Clemson's 17, right? Clemson.
Oh, okay.
So if Clemson beats SMU, Clemson gets the automatic bid. But right now, SMU is in front of Bama at they're ranked 9th and Bama's at 11th. And the
Hmm.
committee said that they're not going to penalize you for playing in this championship weekend, your conference championship game. That's what they're saying.
Man,
that's what
Alabama
they're
gonna go.
saying. But if
Alabama gonna go from 11 to 12.
so, like if SMU loses, now it's like where you gonna put them? Are you gonna have them fall out of the playoff picture? Are you gonna drop them down
Down
to
to 10th and right for the
10th?
11. Like what
Like,
you do?
what are you gonna do now? That's where the questions is gonna come. Is really from the SMU potential loss that's going to take place today. That's where it's going to be like, okay, so now who's going to be 6, 7? Like, you get what I mean when you get to the 12 team? Because
And
I've always said there's only 7 spots that's getting fought for because the group of 5 and then the conference champions.
yeah,
So it's 7 spots that's left. Who are going to be the other 7? And this is the trickiness that's going to come.
and I'm kind of mad that Miami lost. Like I've been cheering for Miami to lose almost all season. I mean,
Fuck them niggas.
I mean, I don't hate them, but it would have been better if they would have won last week. If you don't want Bam, if you're a person who don't want Bam to get in there, it would have been better for Miami to win. Because if Miami would have won last week and beat Miami and SMU, both them teams would have been firmly in the playoff. So I mean, regardless of who won that SMU Miami game, I think both teams would have got in regardless. But now that you got a Clemson team that's 17th ranked, I mean, if SMU loses to a team, they're what 8th, I think, or 9th, and they lose to a team that's 17th. Like I don't know how far down the committee is going to put them. So that's what we're saying. Like I'm just rooting for Cat. Like I want them to have to make a decision. I mean, that's what it comes down to for me. Like I want them to make a decision. Like if Bama gets in, fine, they get in. But if I mean, they get pushed out. I mean, like it's SMU because SMU lost, then cool. But I want them to make a decision that's going to have a chain reaction next year because if SMU loses and they don't get in, I think you're going to see teams on the bubble that's playing on this weekend are going to be like, I'm not playing this game. It's not worth it for me to play in this game, so I'm not going to play.
Hey, Pop, you all right, bro?
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Nigga, you wilding on the timeline right now. You all right?
I ain't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You was hacked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. I hate when that shit happens.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Gotta do 2-step verification now, bro.
I know, man. Shit, you gotta be safe out here.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at with the championship weekend this weekend. So
Hey, where's Smitty at?
yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm here.
Nigga.
What up?
And and
My nigga, why is my man pint size?
That's his production for the week.
You
That's
petty
his
as shit.
production.
Hey, yo. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the
Hey,
fuck
say
is I was
the
like, hold on, is that juice?
All right, hold on. Let's the first game for the day, man, is number 16, Iowa
Well, Greg
State
gonna hit the intro
versus.
though, man.
Oh yeah, we could do the intro. I mean, we 14, 15 minutes in, man. Hey,
All right, okay,
we
I'm
was
just
sliding
wondering.
there.
Oh, okay, I'm just
Either
wondering. That's
or, either or. I gotta get this.
Nah,
When the
nah. You
first
know what?
game though?
all. It's at
Is that
noon.
3 at
Not
noon?
noon. Yeah, 30 minutes.
It ain't the SEC one, is it?
Nah, the SEC
It's
one's at
this one right
4.
here.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
this
Big
one.
12 game. Yeah, kind of
Uh,
mad that Colorado not in this game though, man.
damn, bro, where they
Yeah, me
playing
too.
at? That's early as fuck.
I'm not sure where they're playing actually. I can check though. I think
God
it's
Why
somewhere.
you
damn.
check?
I
Why
think
you
it's
check?
somewhere.
I'm gonna drop the intro.
I think it's,
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Check Down. Breaking news, man. Dallas Goddard has been placed for the second time this year on IR.
man, this bitch ass nigga, man. Niggas on my fantasy. Nigga come up for fantasy playoffs, and this dude really want to be hurt again, man.
Nigga finna
Nigga,
nine.
you think that's bad? Go talk to the motherfuckers that drafted CMC first overall.
And I drafted CMC first overall in my work league, and I'm not doing too good in that league right now.
I bet the fuck you not.
No, I'm definitely not.
Let's get into this first game of the day, man. We got number 16 Iowa State versus number 15 Arizona State. Iowa State is favored by 1.5. The over under is 50.5. This is one of those games I didn't see coming anywhere on my bingo card.
I don't think anybody did. I mean, like in the summertime or in the spring and the summer when we was doing our conference picks, I don't think anybody mentioned any two of these schools. I'm gonna be honest. And I mean, like we're like college football.
I heard some people. Like in the mummers, like saying like Iowa State might be better than last year, but I don't think anybody put them in the Big 12 championship. I think the most popular was probably UCF
I mean, they
and
were
Utah.
yeah, they was popular. Utah was popular. Some people had Colorado in it. I mean, some did, not a lot, but some. But yeah, I mean, it's
These two teams can score though. From what I was looking at, I haven't watched much of their football. I ain't gonna lie like that. But from what I did look up, they have been scoring some points, man. They have been putting up a few points. So I like after JMIK said it, I kind of looked into it, to see why they did give 50.5. These guys can put up points, and I don't think either one of the defenses is necessarily solidified. Um, I
but
don't
I
really know
mean,
who I'm going with though.
that's how the Big 12 has always been. Like over the last 10 years, man. Like this, the Big 12. I mean, even with OU and Texas in it, like it's always been a score first conference. Like you got to be able to put up points. It's not a lot of defense gets gets played in this conference. I think the only teams that really played defense in this conference was like Utah and Kansas State. That's about it though.
If I had to pick somebody in this, I'm probably gonna go with Arizona State. I think they have, to me, the better wins. Um, they've beat Kansas State, they beat BYU, they beat Arizona, UCF. I mean, all the teams that I had on my slate as far as teams I thought could be competing for this conference, they have pretty much beat. They two losses. I mean, I ain't gonna say I can excuse them, but I mean they lost to what, Mississippi State, SEC team. Who else Arizona State lost to? Mississippi State and who else?
I think they got one conference loss though. I thought
Cincinnati. They lost Cincinnati 24-14.
actually Cincinnati's in. Isn't Cincinnati in the ACC or something? Or are
I
they in?
thought I thought that was in the Big 12.
Oh, they are now. Oh, I mean, maybe they
I
moved over.
could be wrong though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could be
Maybe
wrong.
maybe they're in the Big 12. I wasn't sure though.
So I'm gonna ride with Arizona State. I think Arizona State to me has been more impressive. I like the receiver for them Jordan Tyson. I liked what he did. The last few games I have been able to go back and rewatch. Against Arizona, that boy had 8 receptions for 143. Against BYU, receptions for 125. Against Kansas State University at 12 for 176. I'm taking him for another 100 yards today, man. I think he go for another 100. Give me Arizona State and give me Jordan Tyson for 100 yards.
So I can go next. I kind of agree with what you said. Like, this is going to be a very high scoring game. I just don't see any other way but that. This conference scores a lot of points. And to go over 50, I mean, that's you're not even really asking for a lot to happen to go over 50, especially in college football. So I mean, like, give me the over in this game. I'm with Smitty on this. I like Arizona State. Um, Arizona State has one of the best running backs in the country. I think his name is Scatterbo. He's got a lot of production. I wouldn't call him the best running back in college football, but I mean, he's definitely up in like maybe the top 10. Like, maybe he's like around like 7, 8, or 9. Like, he's a really good running back. Iowa State, man, like it's like what everybody said. Like, Iowa State is a team that I didn't expect. I didn't expect both of these teams to be here, honestly. But I mean, especially Iowa State. Um, so I mean, like, I mean, they got a good story, and I mean, they could possibly win the game. I'm just not picking them today. Um, Prop wise, I would definitely take Scatterbo for his yards and then anytime touchdown. I think that's a pretty good bet to hit. Um, and then on the Iowa State side, I think their running back's name is Hanson. Like, I would take him for an anytime touchdown too. Um, I think the better quarterback plays for Iowa State. Like, I think he's got the better numbers, slightly. Then Arizona State. Like, I would also take Tyson, who's their wide receiver, for a anytime touchdown too.
Pop.
Yeah, for me, Arizona State last year, I thought was a pretty good team. The only thing is they didn't have a quarterback. They had a rotation of, I think, 3 guys. Their starter going into the season last year got hurt, so they had 2 guys, a 2 quarterback system. And I looked at the structure of the team and I said, if they could get a quarterback, I think this team can actually make something shake. And then they got Michigan transfer Levitt, and he was able to take the team to a 10-2 record. And Scatterbo, to me, is one of the top running backs, and has been for a while. I think he just didn't get a lot of shine because he played in the Pac-12. So now being in the Big 12, and to the point that was being made, I never thought these 2 teams would meet in the Big 12 championship. But to see that they did, I think that shows the elevation of talent that's taking place in that conference. I'm gonna I don't know, this is tricky. I think I'm gonna ride with Iowa State. I just think that they'll probably put it a more complete game going into this. Um and I'll take the over on the points because I think both teams can score about 27 apiece, and I'll put you at the over. I expect a really good game.
All right. Next game on the list, we got number 5 Georgia versus number 2 Texas. Texas favored by 3. Over under is 50.5. Go ahead, Mick.
I mean, you already know what it is, man. I mean, everybody watch the pod. Know I'm a Georgia fan. Definitely a Georgia fan. Like, we riding today for Georgia. I mean, like, the last time we played this team and we went to Austin, and we blew doors on these fools. And I mean, a lot of people didn't think we was going to do that, and we did it. Today the game is in Atlanta. They call that Athens South. I mean, for a reason. I mean, like, it's. I mean, the drive is about an hour or so. So I expect a lot of Georgia fans to be there, but I expect like a lot of Texas fans to be there as well. And for me, like, the thing I understand with Kirby Smart is, like, Kirby over the years Like if your quarterback is a pocket passer who's stationary, you're gonna have that quarterback gonna have issues because we're gonna bring blitzes, we're gonna bring pressure, and we're gonna force you to beat us in those looks. And yours is not really a mobile guy. I mean, because if you look at our two losses, I mean, we lost to Bama with Milrow. I mean, Milrow is an extremely uh, dual threat quarterback. I mean, he can run it or throw it. And then we also lost to Ole Miss, who has Jackson Dart, who can do the same. Like he can throw it or he can run it very, very well. And yours is not. He's not that kind of guy. I mean, Archie, Manning is more that kind of guy, but Archie's not going to play unless Ewers is hurt, which Ewers is kind of coming to the game banged up. So I mean, like unless Ewers plays so bad that they got to bring Archie in, I don't see Archie playing a lot of snaps. Like I see them having a package for him, and I mean he might come in for a series or two, but I think that would be all that they're going to use Archie for. And I just think if you don't, like I said, if you don't have a mobile quarterback where I mean you can move up the pocket because of the pressure that I mean Georgia's gonna have on you, then you're gonna have an issue. Um, I mean, the Texas side, Texas got a lot of good players on their team. I mean, like they got good running backs. The wide receivers are good. They have a good defense for the most part. Um, but I think Texas' only chance for them to win this game is that Ewers has to pretty much have his best game of the season. I mean, I think that's the way they win the game. I mean, look at Carson Beck's last 4 to 5 games. He hasn't turned over the ball in like over a month. I think his touchdown to interception ratio is like 11-0 in the last 4 weeks. Some of that competition wasn't exactly like, wasn't the stiffest with, I mean, UMass, but he didn't turn over the ball against Georgia Tech. I mean, the team did, but he didn't. I think we had 2 fumbles in that game. One of them we didn't recover, and the other one we did. So he's been taking care of the ball, and I mean, like as long as we can do that, and I mean, if we get a little bit of a running game, then I think we'll be fine. So all that to say, I'm definitely taking Georgia money line because I mean we're underdogs by 2.5 points. The over the under, I think the last game it was 30-15, so 45 points are scored in the last game. So it's a very good possibility that this game could go over. If it was me, I would drop the over under the 45. I would just feel more comfortable at it being 45 or maybe 46. Prop wise, in terms of the players, Georgia's running backs have gotten healthier. The running backs that I would bet on to score a touchdown would probably be Nate Frazier. I mean, I think he scored our touchdowns last week. But I mean, we also do have Robinson back. And there's rumors that ETN might play today. Like I'm not sure because I mean he got pretty banged up in that Florida game. So I'm not sure. I would definitely take Carson Beck for his yards. Definitely. I think we're gonna force Ewers to pass, so I would take him for his yards as well. And to score, I would take on the Georgia side, I would take Lovett. Texas, their wide receiver. I mean, I guess you could take Helm, I guess. I mean, but I'm not exactly sure on the Texas side in terms of wide receivers who's going to score. So
Go ahead, Pop.
I'm riding with Texas. I do not believe in Carson Beck. Every time it's a big game, he seems to play very sloppy ball. With it being in Athens, well, no, is it in Athens?
no, it's in
No,
Atlanta.
it being in Atlanta, that's kind of like a home game for UGA for real. But I just think that even with Ewers being banged up, Texas has played really good ball for the most part, consistent ball, and I think that first matchup that Texas had with Georgia, I think they'll learn from it, and I think they're gonna pull out the W today. I think that Texas defense will be able to take advantage of the turnovers that the UGA offense will give up, and Ewers and company gonna do their thing. So I'm taking Texas. The over under, I'll probably see if I could drop the line down to maybe 45 and a half, and I'll take it there. 50 and a half. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I'll take a Texas money line and drop the over under the 45 and a half if I can.
This is a tough game, right? Georgia, obviously, with the prestige of an organization that they have, you would believe going into this game, no matter what the circumstances, they got an opportunity to win. But Carson Beck, as Pop kind of said, he scares me, bro. he gives me the heebie-jeebies with those turnovers. He give me Josh Allen vibes with the turnovers sometimes. Like he can get into a rhythm of completing it to the other team too much. But like to me, I think like I don't know what Quinn Ewers' health is. If he's gonna be able to finish the game. But I honestly think like if they do have to change up like you said, Mick, I think they got opportunities to win this game. Oh, man. I'm gonna take Texas money line. Um, Carson Beck, man, I just don't know. Carson Beck throughout the season has gotten worse when I thought he was gonna get better. The turnovers continue to just I don't know like I don't know what happened to dude. Like just a few months ago, I thought he was a lock for a first round pick, and now I'm in my head like people would be happy to if he survived to the third. If he was there in the third.
Oh, I mean, he definitely gonna go on at least in the second round. Like I'll say that the way he's played. But I think he got a chance. Like mark my words when I say this. He got a way to play his way back into the first round, maybe late in the first round.
It would be
But
the playoffs. It would be
well,
the
well,
playoffs.
yeah, well, yeah. It starts today. He got to play well today, and then when they hit the college football playoff, he has to play well. I mean, like if he can play well against ranked teams that have good defenses, he might be able to get himself back into the late first. Maybe someone trades. If you're one of the teams that's in the top 10 that need a quarterback, but they don't want to draft one in the first round, and they want to trade back up into the late first. That's a possibility. His arc of going top 15. That's not going to happen.
You have
For
to have that Cinderella turnaround type
no,
deal.
it's more than that, man. I mean, like he would have to play like 2019 Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs for that to happen, for him to be in the top 15.
Jesus.
I
That
don't know, bro.
that's just not
I
happening.
I, I think he. Listen. Of course I hear a lot about Carson Beck because I'm like an hour away from Athens or whatever, like you said. But even with his turnovers and the mistakes that he make, one thing that I do like about Carson Beck is he stays composed. Like he'll fuck up, and at the end of the game, when the lights get really, really bright, he settles down, and I feel like that says a lot, yo. Like I've seen quarterbacks, Zach Wilson. I've seen quarterbacks put up the numbers, flashy throws and highlights and all this other type shit. But then, when it came down to crunch time, just completely fall to fucking pieces. And the success that you have in college, to translate that to the pros, it's not normal. So I appreciate a quarterback that can go through adversity and then compose himself in a team and then pull a win out, at the end. I think that you should get some stock for that. That's just me.
I could definitely see that. Like he definitely, in the Texas game, he turned over the ball, and then some of the other big games they had, he turned over the ball and he came back. He kept fighting. I mean, that's one thing I do agree with Surf. I don't like the dude. He might make mistakes early in the game, but he'll keep, he'll keep fighting. Like he doesn't lose confidence in himself, and I think that's a very important trait to have when you're, like you're a football player.
You got that J.R. Smith mindset.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
But I don't know. I think it's more than just that. Like like I've seen him lock in. And it wasn't necessarily something that he did from the pocket with his arm, but he was a part of a drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your squad see that your leader isn't rattled, that means something to him.
That's true.
Like, they ready to go to war for him. Like, hey man, the captain ain't having a good day, but he's standing 10 toes. So let me kick it up a little bit. Let me do something extra. So I think that that's going to translate well for him to the next level. I do. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think for him in the NFL, like that'll definitely translate because being a quarterback, like you have to kind of have them kind of traits where guys are going to want to follow you, even if you because every quarterback turns over the ball. Like that's not specific to Carson Beck or like any particular quarterback. You're going to do that, but what you got to do is you got to be able to lead those guys, and they got to have confidence in you that even though you turn over the ball and make mistakes, that that's your right to shit. So I mean that trait will serve him well. But in the NFL, like I mean, the players are better. The defensive schemes are a lot more complex. So he's going to have to do some work. That's all.
All right, the next game we have is number 3 Penn State versus number 1 Oregon. Oregon favored by 3.5, over under 50.5. Pop, go ahead.
I wasn't expecting this to be the Big Ten matchup. Not gonna lie to you. I thought it was gonna be Oregon, Ohio State. We was gonna get that rematch again. But shout out to Penn State, making things shake. I'm gonna go with Oregon with this. Penn State to me, that they haven't looked solid in a lot of their wins. It was really shaky. The both sides of the ball not playing complementary with each other. Games the defense is playing well, but the offense taking a while to wake up, vice versa. Um, Oregon, though, to me, has been consistent in their play. Yes, they've had their struggles, but they've been able to fight and get that win. Case in point with a game I brought up earlier, that Boise State game, Oregon had to fight every minute of that game to get that win, and they won by 1 point. But to me, that showed resiliency because it's easy for a team to become disheartened when your defense is giving up points like that and your offense is constantly having to climb out of the hole your defense is putting you in. But that shows a resilience in the team. And I also think their run game for Oregon has gotten better over the course of the last 4 to 5 weeks. It wasn't there to begin the season, but I think they have found some consistency in that position group right now, and I think that's going to bode well for them against Penn State. Penn State has to show me that they can win it. They've always been knocking at the door, but they can never get the job done. And before I could ever choose Penn State to win the big game, they have to show it to me. So that's why I'm gonna ride with Oregon in this, and I'll take the overall points because both these teams can put up 30, 35 points. So yeah.
Definitely taking the over. I mean, Oregon has the capability to score. The only thing about the order that concerns me is Penn State. Like, is Penn State going to put up enough points that I mean, Oregon don't got to put up all the points. Because I mean, I don't trust the Penn State off. The only person on the Penn State offense that I trust is Tyler Warren. That's it. Like the other guys, I don't. I mean, the running back. I mean, they got a good running back. They always do. But like Tyler Warren is the guy that I could trust on that offense. For me, I'm taking Oregon, man. It's kind of like what Pop said, man. Like, I don't trust Penn State. I never have, and until they win one of these games, I'm not going to trust them. And honestly, to me, they got gifted this opportunity because how Ohio State lost to Michigan last week. I just to have that kind of offense and the recruits that they brought in, and to only put up 10 points when Will Johnson didn't even, like, the best cornerback in college football didn't even play, and the best tight end in college football is kind of iffy because I mean, some people say Loveland, and some people say Tyler Warren. So I mean, you could say they got a top 2 tight end on their team, and he also didn't play, and they got a quarterback that really can't throw the ball, and they still managed to beat Ohio State in Ohio State in like the shoe. So I mean, for me, it's just like Penn State got given an opportunity, and they gotta take full advantage of this opportunity. But I just don't think they will. Like, I'm taking Oregon minus the 3. I mean, I could even say I think Oregon can win by a touchdown. To be honest with you, like if I'm feeling froggy, I could raise that line up to minus 6.5. To be honest with you, because I think Oregon going to at least win by a touchdown. Is the way I see it. I mean, if you want my honest truth, I think they're going to win by 10. To be honest, because I mean, the one thing about Penn State, like, their defense is going to show up, but I just like the way that Oregon plays offense, I just don't know if Penn State got enough to be able to cover that for 60 minutes. Like, I just don't know. And so, like, that's how I have it. Prop wise, I'm trying to think. Like I said, Penn State, like I said, Tyler Warren. I mean, I would take Tyler Warren for his yards and receptions, definitely. I mean, for Oregon, like the wide receiver that I like the most is Tez Johnson. Like he's a really good wide receiver, so I would take him for his yards as well. Um, I would take the Oregon running back James for a anytime touchdown. And then for Penn State, their running back Singleton, I would take him for a anytime touchdown too. And I would definitely take Dylan Gabriel's yards. Drew Alar, I'm not putting no money on him. I'm just not going to do it because he tends not to show up in big games either. So
I've had this weird moments these year of being on the Penn State bandwagon low key. Like I've been keeping them in the rankings. I've been like, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they can stop Oregon. You know, for them to win this game, it would have to be under 50 and a half. You know, you would have to stifle the Oregon offense. I just don't know if Penn State got it with what their offense does for them. Drew Allar, as everybody knows, we all had the same opinion of him. He had to play better, and it don't seem like in moments he plays better. He goes back to Drew Allar that we didn't like. And I don't think it's gonna get better today. I'm gonna take Oregon money line. Like I said, the only way I think Penn State wins this game had to be low scoring, where they somehow keep Oregon off the board under maybe 20 points to win this game. And I don't see them doing that. I just don't see it. I don't even know. I like the quarterback for Oregon, passing yards today for sure. All right, next game is 17 Clemson versus 8 SMU. SMU is favored by 2.5. Over under is 55.5. Seeing that this is my conference, I would prefer this to end and it not be Clemson. But I mean, I think Clemson got the better chance today. They have been playing better, down the stretch. SMU though, Jesus Christ, them boys have been rolling. I mean, they've been pretty much steamrolling everything in the way. It wouldn't shock me to see Clemson get blowed out today by more than 2.5. I'm taking SMU minus the 2.5. And I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the over 55.5.
SMU was my dark horse team to win the ACC, and it's just because I like the transfer moves they made. I like their underclassmen that played last year, and I thought that they did a good job in bringing in some better talent. And I thought that they could potentially make a run in the ACC, and to see them actually get to the championship game, I think is pretty dope, considering they were not really on a lot of people's radar. Clemson, I think, has been playing pretty good ball. Those underclassmen have really stepped it up this year in their performance. And I think, I can't think of the quarterback's name for Clemson right now, but I think he's progressed really well in the system, being it's his second year. I'm gonna go with SMU though. I've been low key riding for them this whole season, and I'm gonna continue to do so. I'm gonna go with SMU. I think they've been playing pretty good ball, pretty consistent ball outside of the one loss that they did have. Um, I'm gonna go with SMU. The over though, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna stay away from that, and I'll just probably uh take the -2.5 spread.
I can go next. I'm gonna just let it be known. I said this at the beginning of the show, man. I'm cheering for chaos, man. Like I want the committee to have to make a decision. And I mean, I don't think it's a hard, like, that difficult of a pick for me to say that Clemson can win, because I think either team could win this game. Clemson to me has the better defense. I mean, Clemson has the ability to stifle SMU's offense, even though SMU has a very high powered offense. And I think the key to the game is getting pressure on the SMU quarterback. I forgot his name, Jennings. The only thing about Jennings is you got to be careful is, like, he's able to escape the pocket as well. So you really got to be careful with that. I mean, if you're gonna decide to blitz him, then you got to keep him contained in the pocket. If not, he can cause havoc, on you. So I'm going Clemson money line. I also think this game goes over as well. I think for Clemson to win it, I think they're going to slow SMU down for the majority of the game, but SMU is going to put up their points. So Clemson, and I think the over under is only like 50 and a half or something like that. Um, so so
55 and a half.
yeah, well 55 and a half. I'm still gonna take the over. I mean, my better judgment tells me to take SMU, but like I said, man, I'm cheering for chaos today. So I'm gonna go Clemson money line. Prop wise, I'll take Klubnik for his yards. Ever since the Georgia game, he's actually been playing really well. So I'll take him on that prop. I'm also take Jennings. I'm gonna take his yards as well. Um, the Clemson running back, I think his name is Fire. I think that's how you pronounce his name, or something like that. I take him for anytime touchdown. I also take the SMU guy for anytime touchdown, Smith as well. Um, I mean, he scored 14 touchdowns on the year. Like I said, it's a high-powered offense, so they're gonna score on the ground and through the air. So I trust him. And I also trust Williams to get an anytime touchdown for Clemson. I'll take him for his yards as well. SMU, I'm not gonna front. Like I haven't watched a bunch of SMU football, so I'm not sure in the order of their wide receivers. Like I mean, what's the pecking order? So I'm not gonna bet on any of those guys.
All right, so time for the NFL slate. We got the Thursday night game. Packers 31, Lions 34. Lions came out on top. Lions extend the lead in the number one seed. Certified. Go ahead, brother.
What you mean?
Packers versus Lions, man. Thursday night game. How you felt about it?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it was entertaining. They got me on that anytime touchdown with Jordan Love. I forgot why I was called back, but I pissed off about that. Um, it was a little closer than what I expected. Um, uh, I I I mean I didn't see anything that changed anything that I felt about Green Bay or Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I mean the game shouldn't have been that close. Detroit kept them in the game. Um, Green Bay, I don't even think they had 300 yards of offense that game. They kind of struggle outside of those two drives where I know what's the name, Jordan Love hit Christian on a deep bomb for like 60 yards. Because Buddy didn't have any help over the top, and Christian just ran right past him. And then he hit Christian for another like catch and run for 30. But outside of that, Jordan Love ain't do shit at all. Um, and they for the most part controlled Josh Jacobs. I think he barely hit his prop. I think he had like 61 yards or some shit like that. Detroit kept them in the game, going forward on fourth down at their own 30. And then with Buddy, fucking Jared Goff turning the ball over on his side of the field. That's 14 points right there. It should have been a fucking blowout, but that's what happened when you play with your food, right?
Go ahead, Mick.
Um, I like so off full disclosure, man. I picked the Lions to win this division. I even picked the Lions to go to the Super Bowl, and before the season started. So that's just the way I felt. I didn't really get any new information I didn't know. Like I figured the Lions would win the game. I thought they won by a touchdown, but it was only a field goal. So that to me, the Lions had full control of this game until the second half started. Um, I mean, like I think Green Bay got the ball first, to drove down and scored a touchdown. Even that, what to me, what changed the tide of this game was that Jared Goff pick on their first possession in the second half, and the third quarter. I think that's what changed this game from being what it was. I mean, to what we saw it was in the second half. And I mean, that was an instrumental, interception. And I think on that play, like the Packers actually brought pressure, and Jared Goff, he thought he saw something that he didn't see in terms of the coverage. And he essentially threw it right to the linebacker. So but that's something that you can get with Jared Goff when you bring pressure. I mean, that's one of Jared Goff's downfalls is you bring pressure, and he can turn over the ball. Like that's just one of the things you kind of got. If he's your quarterback, you have to live with. But yeah, I wasn't surprised. I mean, the only thing I feel differently about is the Lions a little bit because I mean, at the end of the game, like when I picked the Lions to make the Super Bowl, in the back of my mind was the decision making of the coach, which kind of had me on edge of picking them to make the Super Bowl, before the season started. And going throughout the season, I thought he kind of settled down and throughout the season, he really hasn't made those same kind of decisions that he was making in the playoffs and like against the Cowboys late in the season last year until I watched this game. And on that fourth one where they decided to go for it and the lineman stepped on Jared Goff's leg and he barely got the handoff to I think it was Montgomery. And there was only like 30 seconds left. In that situation, if I'm the coach, I'm kicking the field goal. I'm not going to risk the Packers bringing an all-out blitz and them stuffing the run and you give them the ball with 30 seconds to go and all you got to do is go, 30, 40 yards to win the game. So I just think, in the playoffs, it's going to come a time when they're either playing the Eagles or the Vikings or some higher echelon team. And that's why the Packers aren't that. The Packers are going to make the playoffs. The Packers might even win, a playoff game. I mean, who knows? But, like, his decision-making to me is still a problem. And it's just like, like he didn't need – I get it. He wanted to milk the clock and he wanted to win the game on a field goal. But to me, those are taking chances that you don't need to take. And then I just think at some point that might come back to bite them.
I kind of disagree with that last point just because I think it was more than 30 seconds on the clock and how that Packers offense was rolling. You don't want to give them an opportunity to try to win that game. Um, and having belief that his team could get that yard, I think that shows some faith. I do agree, though, in the playoffs, when you get an opportunity to get points, take them because those opportunities are going to come few and far between. I'll say this. Yeah, like nothing about Jordan Love. My opinion of Jordan Love changed in this game. I saw him have to win the game, and I saw what happened with that. Without having a consistent run game, because in my opinion, for the Packers to win this game, Josh Jacobs needed to at least crack 90 to 100 yards, and he didn't because the Lions defense forced Jordan Love to pass the ball, and we saw the inconsistencies in his game with that. I am going to give him credit for those few plays he did make to get the Packers back into the game, but moving forward, I don't think anything Love did just proved to me, oh, this is the quarterback that's going to take the Packers to the Super Bowl. Like, just because without a run game, he's incompetent, in my opinion. On the Lions side of the ball, for them to have that many players out and still have a very competitive defense, shows the type of coaching that they have, shows the type of mentality that team has. Um, and so I think this was a great win for the Lions, and they got about 10 games before they have to play the Bills, which I think is going to be a very explosive game next week.
I think like I semi like what Dan Campbell does with like the taking the chances, but I ain't gonna lie, I did cringe a little bit at when he took it with the 40 something seconds left. When he took that fourth and inches, I just didn't know. And then y'all know how the AI stuff been going around, so I woke up and heard the like the AI version of his press conference. I was like, oh shit. Uh, hey, I was a little confused, but no, I think both teams are going to be competitive in the playoffs down the stretch. They both do what you need to play good competitive playoff football. They run the ball, play action. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say they limit the turnovers, but they can sustain a few of the turnovers. Both of them as a team. So I think it was a good game overall. I would have preferred the Lions win in my own selfish ways, but also I wanted the Packers to lose because I got a bet that they're gonna go under 13-4. So you know,
So they got to pretty much win out because aren't they 9-4 right now?
yes sir.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win out. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I'm not sure what their schedule look like, but I don't think they're gonna
They
win
got to
out.
play the Vikings again. They got a few. They got a few games on the. I think it's only like two games that they could lose. It's like
Mhm.
the Vikings and somebody else. I don't know who the other game was, but I know they played the other two teams they play is like
I mean,
below 500.
they got Seattle next week, and they got the Saints,
Seattle was it.
the Vikings, and the Bears. That Vikings game gonna be hard though, because they got to go up to Minnesota to win that game.
Yeah, I think the Vikings and Seahawks was the two games I said was a 50-50. 50-50.
And I think the Vikings game will be a big game because it's like you in the NFC, you want to be the 5 seed because you the 5 seed, you're gonna play the Falcons. Well, if it's the Falcons, you want to play the Falcons. The Bucks, I don't think the Bucks are gonna be easy out. I'm not saying you don't want to play them, but I think the Falcons will be like a lot easier out than the Bucks will be. So
But the first game of our Sunday matchup is Saints versus Giants. Saints favored by 5. Over under is 40.5. Pop.
Hey, I'm taking the Giants. Drew Lock for the lock. Um, Listen, Taysom Hill is out for the season. He got a very terrible knee injury in the Rams game, so he's out. Um, my center got banged up, and he hadn't played in almost 3 months. And he's been back 2 games and kind of has gotten banged up because he had a very severe groin injury. Um, and I have a dummy that's my quarterback. So yeah, I'm going with the Giants. I think their defense will be able to take advantage of the deficiencies we're going to have on the offensive side of the ball. And I also think Drew Lock, with another game under his belt, with more time to get comfortable within that offense, I think he's gonna perform pretty well. Also, like Tyrone uh, Tracy, I believe that's the running back for the Giants. I will take his yards, either rushing or receiving, because my run defense is absolutely atrocious. Right now, it's Alvin Kamara, and that's it. I don't know who else is going to be playing. I do have a couple of players that's potentially coming off IR, like Bud Means, who was our fifth round wide receiver out of Pitt this year, and he's been on IR because he got banged up. Kendra Miller, our running back from a couple of years ago, he's been off and on the IR list this season, and he's trending to play in this game. Um, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I'm gonna just take the Giants. I just don't believe that the Saints are gonna be able to be consistent enough in this game to actually win it. Plus, this is a away game, and we haven't really performed that well away. So yeah, I'm rolling with the Giants.
Wow, that was shocking. I didn't see that one coming. Shit. I definitely did. Look, I thought she was gonna come off and be like, "Duh, I'm beating the Giants," but um, I'm definitely taking the Saints, bro. I don't trust nothing about the Giants outside of that the defensive line, which hasn't been performing lately. That team is pretty much downhill. Malik Neighbors is possibly out. Uh, they don't have any receivers outside of that. Tyrone Tracy might have a pretty good day. But I trust Derek Carr and his offense with the limited pieces he does have over the Giants to in this game. Give me the Saints money line.
Let me give you a just a little fact. When Taysom Hill doesn't play, look at how atrocious that offense is.
I mean, that's all good and well, but Drew Lock is their quarterback. I mean, and kind of like what Smitty said, neighbors. I think he got like a hip pointer or something that he suffered in practice, so he didn't practice yesterday, so they don't even know if he's gonna play. So I mean, I just like I get it. Like you want the Saints to lose for draft positioning and all that. I get it, but I just don't know how the Giants gonna be able to score enough points on that Saints defense to be able to win that game. That's what my concern is. I mean, either way, I mean, I can't lose, man. I mean, the Giants win. It's good for me. So I mean, it doesn't like I don't really it doesn't matter. I just don't trust Drew Lock, man. That's I don't trust Derek Carr either. But I trust Derek Carr more than I trust Drew Lock. And I don't even know what's going on with Chris Olave. Like I know that he was on the IR, but I feel like he's been on the IR for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
he had a. You got to think about it. He had two back-to-back
concussion.
severe concussions. They're being super cautious with him.
Yeah. And I mean, plus, I mean, like y'all not really playing for nothing, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, but you still got Kamara though. That's the one thing I can say. Like Kamara's still one of the better running backs in this league. And kind of what Smitty said, like the Giants D line has been kind of disappointing this year with the additions that they made. Um, I mean, with the exception of Dexter Lawrence. I mean, Dexter Lawrence has been great for them this year, with the exception of him. But yeah, I just see the Saints winning. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a one possession game. Um, Props I like in this game. I like Kamara with anytime touchdown. Um, I like the Giants running back. What's that guy's name? Tracy. I like him for anytime. Um, I don't really trust anybody else in this game, to be honest with you. Like I don't like. Like you said, Chris Olave is not playing. I don't know, but maybe MVS, because MVS. I mean, it's been kind of crazy because it seems like he scored in every game he's played in with y'all.
Every game. Every
Yes.
game he has a touchdown.
So
Yeah, but I'm not sure about the Bud Means thing. I did, like I said, he was on the injury report. I did see some reporters saying it's trending that he's coming off IR, but nothing has come out yet that definitively says that Bud Means is playing. So it's really MVS and Kamara for real for the offense, because our tight ends haven't really had much production outside of Taysom Hill. So
yeah, I mean, plus my general rule is if a player come off, IR, I'm not really going to heavily invest because I don't know if the team's going to play him a lot because they're coming off.
exactly.
So what I was saying was he might come back, but MVS has scored in every game, so I might take him for an anytime touchdown. When it comes to Kamara, though, I would probably take him for it since Taysom Hill's not there. Like I would definitely take Kamara for like 50 rushing yards, and I would even go as far as to take him maybe 40 receiving yards because with Taysom Hill not being there, he's gonna have to be more of a factor. So.
Certified win already?
No, I don't think so.
Sir, it's on you.
I don't really know what to say. I don't know these people. No, I'm serious. I don't know who's starting. I know Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara's playing, but outside of that, I don't know these rosters. You know, I do know that the Giants made a lot of moves on the offseason for that defensive front seven, and nothing has produced from it at all. Um, it's looking like Carolina fleeced them for what's his name? What's the boy? The defensive end. What's his
Brian
name?
Burns.
Brian
Brian
Burns. Yeah,
Burns.
it's
Yeah.
looking like Carolina fleeced them, man. Even Dexter Lawrence, like I kind of figured this at some point in time he's going to slow down. He really that supporting cast around him has declined rapidly, and his decline hasn't been as rapid, but you can see it. It's evident. I don't know what the fuck the Giants going to do or where they go from here. Um, uh, and same thing with the Saints, man. Like I just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I guess the Saints are favored, but I mean, like Pop said, when it's a completely different team when they don't have Taysom, and the times that I've tuned in where the offense looks stagnant, I have noticed they would throw Taysom in there to kind of jumpstart it a little bit. So, that's big. That's huge. So I'm not sure how this shit is gonna play out, but I don't want to watch it.
Luckily, it's on with a bunch of other ones. But
Yeah.
all right. Next game is Browns versus Steelers. Steelers favored by 6.5. Over under is 43.5. Sir, you want to? I don't know if you want to watch this one.
Um. Oh, kind of. It's this not too far off. I'm. I'm having trouble trusting Pittsburgh's defense. I see them look like game changers, and then I see them look mid. It's like they so up and down, and then the Cleveland man, it's like I just like watching Cleveland because of Jameis, dog. Like if you don't like Jameis, Winston, dog, like something. Do you have a pulse? But as far as the game, I don't know, man. Six is 6.5. That's a lot. Um, I don't trust the Steelers enough to put down them winning by 6.5. I don't. I think they will win, but 6.5, I don't know about that. As far as props, Jameis is definitely going to hit his attempts and yards, um, regardless of who he targets. And Warren on what's Pickens? Pickens is going to have a 20 plus yard catch. That's is going to happen, and Warren is going to hit his number. Outside of that, I'm cool.
I think this is going to be an interesting game. The Steelers need to extend their lead in first place in that division. And the Browns right now obviously don't know how to tank well. They got a guy in there that's sparking some type of heart in all these fellas. I just don't. I don't know. You know what the Browns have planned, but it don't seem like they trying to get good draft position. I don't really think they care about that at this moment. But the Steelers defense, it has been a little iffy. When Watt isn't wrecking the game, it seems like they aren't as
Right,
dominant as
right.
they are every other game. And the last time I think they played, I don't think it was a far out game. I think didn't the Steelers and Browns play already?
Yeah, but the game was in Cleveland the first time around. It was that Thursday night game where it was snowing
And
all crazy.
Cleveland won, right?
Yeah, I mean Cleveland won. I think they won by like what a 3 or 4 points, something like that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the Steelers in this one. I think they should split. Give me. I like that George Pickens anytime touchdown and the 20 plus yard reception. Give me Warren rushing yards. Give me Najee Harris for 25 rushing yards. Um, and I'm gonna take Chubb this week for anytime touchdown. And give me Jameis Winston
Mm.
uh 200 passing yards.
Nigga, you sure Chubb gonna see the field?
Chubb
I'm
scored
gonna,
the last 2 weeks, man.
yeah, he
I know,
scored.
but that was like inside the 10. He didn't. He saw the field before they got inside the 10. He saw the field like once, and then they pulled him.
Yeah, I mean, he still scored though. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
but that ain't.
and
What's his yards though?
I think
Oh,
last game.
I ain't touching that. I ain't got nothing to do with
Oh,
that.
Yeah, I think the
yeah.
last time he
Anytime
played
Oh,
the
okay,
touchdown.
okay. I thought you. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you
No, no,
said
I
his
want to touch
yards.
no yards. No yards.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think the last
I
time he
don't
played,
understand what's going on with that, man. Like, why is he
I
not
think
on the field?
I think they're just trying to because he's coming back from that major knee reconstruction. I think they're just trying to work him in slowly. I don't see like I don't have a problem with how they're using him in forward. I think that's a good plan. But last time we played against the Steelers, he had 50 plus rushing yards and he had 2 touchdowns. So I mean, he had a pretty good game against the Steelers. I mean, I mean, the touchdown wise, yard wise, he could have
Yeah,
more, but
yeah. He didn't hit his yards prop.
yeah.
It was like
Um,
63 or some shit.
I mean,
62, 63.
looking at this game, I think the weather is going to be a lot better than the first matchup. The weather is going to be 40 degrees, so I'm sorry to tell James, but you will not be playing in white on Sunday. I'm sorry. Um, but I'm picking the Steelers, man. Like I get it, the Browns played them tough the first time, but I think the Steelers are going to come back with some vengeance, man. Like I mean, they got to want to get some get back. And it's like what everyone's like. It's kind of like what Smitty and Certified said. This is a chance for them to. They already got control of the division, but this is a chance for them to put a stranglehold on the division. Because I think after this week, I think they play they play the Ravens either next week or the week after. So if they win this game and then they beat the Ravens, that's pretty much it. That they're going to win the division. And so you got to beat up on inferior teams. And currently the Browns are an inferior team. I mean, no matter how we feel about their personnel on the team. But I do agree with Certified, man. Watching Jameis play, it's fun. I mean, to hear his pre and post, press conferences, they're funny. I mean, like the guys are he don't in his mind, he ain't even trying to be funny, but he's a funny guy, and I enjoy hearing from him talking pre and post game. But his problem is he turns over the ball too much.
He
Um,
does.
and this is the wrong defense to be playing. He just had a game where he threw 2 pick-sixes. He could have had a third if the linebacker was faster.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had a third. So let's just put that in perspective. So, and this is not the kind of defense that you want to do that against. And I feel as if the pass rush for the Steelers is better than Denver. And then also, I've been hearing rumors that Highsmith actually might be coming back this week. So if you have TJ Watt and Highsmith on the same field, bro, that's going to be a problem for the offensive line. And the Browns' offensive line really ain't that great because they got a bunch of injuries. I don't know about a 6.5 because I mean the Steelers. Even the Bengals game last week, like it was within a touchdown. So I don't know about a 6.5. Maybe I take him at like 3, maybe 2.5, something like that. Prop wise, I agree with Smitty. Chubb has scored the last 2 weeks. I think he's going to score again. I think if they get down there, they're going to give him the ball to score. So I'll take him. For all y'all that seen Jerry Jeudy, put on a historic performance, I wouldn't count on that again. I'm just saying I'm not taking him for no props.
Hey, Mick, you see, I didn't even include him, and I want him to be my player of the week. I didn't even include him. I wouldn't even take that
Bro,
boy for 50 yards this week.
and listen, if he come out and lay an egg,
I wouldn't be
oh
surprised.
man, but that's my biggest problem because if you can do that, you could do half of that every week.
Yeah, but you got to put it in the game in the context, man. That's a team that they drafted him and they traded him away, and so he wanted to go into Denver where he was talking trash the whole week.
Mm-hmm.
And he had extra motivation. Like he just
Okay.
that's one of those things. But sir, I agree with you though. You should be motivated like that every week because maybe
Every week.
if you play that every week, you would get paid. Like you get paid like a even one.
Be-
But I just don't.
because it's not just Denver and that media and that fans. Like even that time where he did that goofy shit with Steve Smith. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Steve just wanted to talk to him, encourage him. Hey, bro, let me see some effort from you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see some grit. And he pushed back on it. So, like, if you can show up like that, I should be able to get at least 50% of that every week.
yeah. I just don't you to see that. That's all.
I
That's my.
know.
I just
I know. I
so
know.
he will not be seeing none of my tickets come tomorrow. But Njoku's a guy I like too. Like, give me Njoku. His reception is probably gonna be at 4.5, if not 4.5, 5.5. I'll take him on that. I take him for 50 yards and I take him for a touchdown. I think he's pretty much their most consistent offensive player. So I expect him to tally up the numbers.
And that's scary.
I mean, he's a top.
Nah, his drops are high, dog. Like he dropped the layups, but hey, Njoku, we need you to do a circus catch. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that's true too. That's just coming out. He was like that in Miami too, though. That's just how he's been. So I just accept it for what it is. On the Steelers side, I actually like what Certified said. Like I like Pickens for a catch over 20 yards. I mean, I've been actually betting that prop a lot over the last month or so. I mean, it actually hits a lot more than you would think.
Yeah,
And not
we
just
on like a 5 week streak, I think.
yeah, but it's not just Pickens. I'm just talking about players in general. Like
Yeah.
if you got guys that are deep down the field receivers, like the 20-yard catch prop is the easy prop to hit sometimes. So give me Pickens for that. Give me Pickens for 50 yards and a touchdown. Give me Jalen Warren for 25 yards. Give me Najee. I think Najee gets in the end zone. I'm gonna stay away from Najee's yards though, because I'm not really too convinced what he's gonna do yard wise.
That's why I dropped it all the way down. They got him at like 60 something. I wouldn't touch that 60 something. Give me like 25, maybe 30.
Yeah.
60 is crazy.
And I mean, last week, I think it was last week where I gave y'all the Fryer move anytime touchdown, and he got it. Like I gave y'all that.
He had like 3 of them things, did he?
He got that. But I'm not gonna roll with him this week.
Nigga, could you imagine if you teased it up to 3 and he got 3?
That's like plus
Ooh,
that's like
wee.
that's like plus
That's
10.
probably about plus 300.
Nah, that's more than that because I think Tim Patrick, him to score 2 touchdowns last week, that was like plus 8,000.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Yeah, for fire move, it's gonna be up there.
Y'all won't
up there, yeah. I'm not teasing him
Hey,
with a.
look, you want to know what's
Yeah,
funny,
for
bro?
3.
I
For
had
3
Tim
is way
Patrick on
more.
my ticket.
And then you took them off.
You know what's funny, Jamie? I had a, no. I ain't take him off. I just didn't. I only took him for one touchdown and two receptions.
I mean, he
It
definitely
wasn't as
got.
high as the two touchdowns.
Oh damn. Well, I mean, Arizona
But
State, but
I also had the running back for Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
No. I had Gibbs for 50 yards. He only got like 40 something, 30 something.
Yeah.
Oh
Um.
man, let me tell y'all something real. Go ahead, Mick. I'm gonna tell you
Oh
when you're
yeah,
done.
yeah. I'm gonna finish off this prop thing. So like I said, I gave you the fire move anytime touchdown last week. This week I'm going with Calvin Austin for the anytime touchdown.
Unrelated, yo. I had a four leg, right? The fourth leg was Jalen Brunson, 24.5 points. At
Mm.
halftime, this motherfucker had 19 points. The Knicks was up 13 at the half. You know this motherfucker scored 24 points and set the whole fourth quarter?
I guess they were playing against who like the Wizards or something.
I think it was the Hornets.
The Hornets,
Blew
yeah.
them niggas out by 33. He ain't even play. All I needed was a half a point. And he had 19 at the half. I was livid.
See, I mean, that's the like bet. Like I be doing parlays in basketball too, but that's the one thing about basketball. You get a blowout year, you're screwed, bro. Like
Not
you know,
even
like,
that, though. What's been fucking me up with my point guards like LaMelo Ball, Brunson, Spider. Them niggas get in foul trouble and they sitting for like 12, 15 minutes of the game.
yeah. And not the same thing happened to me last night. Like, so I had a big parlay on the Celtics. What's I was playing last night? They were playing the Bucks, right? So Derek White been balling out all year. So I take this man for 3 threes and 15 points. This nigga go 0 for 8 from the field, 0 for 7 for 3. Blew up my everything else hit on the parlay. Blew up my whole parlay, man.
Nigga.
But
I know when you saw Derek White for 3 threes, your eyes got big as fuck.
yeah.
Because you was like, he gonna do that in his fucking sleep.
Well, yeah. I mean, he been doing that in the first half. I mean, he been balling. He just. But that's the thing about basketball, man. It's like they play so many games. That every player can have a game like that. So it's just like it's feast of famine. I mean, but I give you a bad beat. So I mean, like the Monday Night Football game with the Broncos. It was with the Broncos and the Browns, right? So I take a 4-leg anytime touchdown parlay. I took Chubb for a touchdown. I took Njoku for a touchdown. Um, I took Javante Williams for a touchdown. All three out of four hit right early in the game. I'm thinking about cashing out, but I don't. And so the fourth guy was Cortland Sutton. This was $10 to make 600. This nigga don't catch no damn touch. I was beside myself, pissed off, man. I was, all them touchdowns
What
in
was
that
the
game.
cash out? What was the cash out?
Cash out was like $60. I should have took it. I should have.
Yeah.
But it was so early in the game. I'm like, well, damn. I mean, like for the way they was going up and down the field, I'm like, well, shit. Cortland scored a touchdown. Judy scores a touchdown. Mim scores a touchdown. Like all these dudes scoring a touchdown, but he the one dude that don't score a touchdown. I was so damn mad. But hey,
Oh shit. Pop, it's on you. I don't think Pop went,
Yeah,
but
that's why the light skins I like to keep away from my tickets because they ruin them all the time. But anyway, back
That's
to the
crazy.
yeah, no, I mean,
I
it
mean,
is what
praise
it
for life,
is.
niggas.
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm seeing a trend, and when my parlays don't hit, Browns versus Steelers, I'm going with the Steelers. I think that offensive explosion we saw for the Browns, that's an anomaly. For I don't think that we're gonna get even close to half of that production, considering the type of front seven the Steelers have. Um, Even though the Browns won that previous matchup, that Steelers front was beating on that O line. They was beating them up. TJ Watt was a wrecking ball in that game. Um, and I kind of expect the same thing to happen. I expect that defense to be very disruptive in the pass game, rush Jameis clocks, force him to give you those turnover worthy plays that he's already going to give you, but more so. Um, and I believe the Steelers defense has the advantage to actually take advantage of those plays. Um, Warren, I like him out of the running backs they have. I believe they went pass heavy, so Warren wasn't getting too much burn in the game that they had against the Bengals. because it was just a very potent passing game for the Steelers. I don't think that's something that's going to continue with the Steelers as well, just because we've seen how this offense has performed, even with Russell Wilson in it. They're a steady 24 points for real. Probably but averaging about maybe 20 points a game. Nothing like the 40 plus that they put up against the Bengals. Um, yeah, what was been said about Judy, I don't expect that type of career high game that he had on Monday night. I expect him to kind of come down to earth to his average about 60 yards a game. So I'll probably stay away from him for anything over 60 and a half or anything like that. I will stay away from it. I'll go for Njoku's receptions. If I'm doing any prop for the Browns, Jameis is going to definitely hit his passing yards in attempts. Yeah, I like the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to continue this grind that they're having, putting together some decent wins because this division race between the Steelers and the Ravens is getting kind of interesting right now. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm not sure about the 6.5 because the Steelers ain't really been winning by that large of a point margin. But I will take the overall points, 43.5. I don't think that's too risky of a play when I think both offenses could put up about 24 points, and I'll take you at the over. So
All right. So the next game we have is Falcons versus Vikings. Vikings favored by 6. Over under is 45.5. Go ahead, Mick.
Yes, I got an agenda to push, man. I have the Falcons third round pick, so I'm cheering for every loss for the Falcons, man. I'm not sugarcoat it. No, I'm not going cap, man. I got their third round pick, so I'm cheering. Watching their downfall is a beautiful thing for me, personally. Um, but I still like I mean, even if I didn't have their third round pick, like I just the way that they're playing versus the way the Vikings are playing, game in Minnesota. I mean, it's a Kirk Cousins. I don't want to call it revenge, man, because Kirk chose not to sign back there. So it's not really revenge for Kirk because he chose this. But I mean he's I mean going back to Minnesota, going in the dome. Give me Vikings money line. Um, I think the Vikings are going to blitz the entire hell out of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins played there, so they know Kirk Cousins pretty well. So I expect, and I mean the Vikings already blitz anyways. I mean like they're I think they're top 5 in blitzes and pressure, in terms of them pressuring the quarterback. Um, so I like them in that aspect. Kirk Cousins turned over the ball 4 times last week. He threw a pick 6. You'll hardly ever on this show ever hear me say what I'm about to say. And I normally don't take defenses to score touchdowns, but this is one of them situations where you just got to push your luck because he could have thrown a couple pick sixes last week if you watched the game. So I'm gonna lobby and I'm gonna take the Vikings to score a defensive touchdown in this particular game. I mean, like it's not something you put on a parlay. It's something that you sprinkle on a single bet. Because I just got a good feeling the odds are probably gonna be good too. The odds are probably like +8, +900, something crazy like that. Um,
Can you prop that?
yeah, you could prop that on FanDuel.
Oh,
I'm not sure about DraftKings though. I'm not sure
I
if you.
know. So you could prop the defense, not the player.
Yeah, I think on FanDuel you can prop the
Oh,
defense. I think on FanDuel, not FanDuel. I think on DraftKings, I think you can prop the actual player to score a touchdown. I think, and then I think on FanDuel you can also prop the player to catch the pick. Actually, because I think in the game last week, I think Branch odds the odds of him getting an interception was like +700 or something like that on FanDuel. I think. So yeah, I mean FanDuel pretty much you can bet on anything that you want to pretty much. Um, but yeah, I mean just to cut this short, I mean the props I like Falcons defense has not been good and they don't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So Viking wise, I do like Sam Darnold's yards. I think this is the game where Jefferson gets off the snot. I've been riding with the Jefferson anytime touchdown. I'm not like he got to show me he can score a touchdown first. So I'm not going to ride with that this week. But I'm going to ride with his reception and his yards. Give me Addison's yards. I think Hawkinson gets in the end zone for the Vikings this week. I also think Aaron Jones gets in there. Falcons last week, I took Bijan for a touchdown. I think I'm gonna ride with another Bijan touchdown and 50 yards rushing. Um, and like I said, I don't do this a lot, but give me the Kirk anytime interception too.
This week, I'm doing a little bit of the same thing JMIK doing. Give me the Falcons because I can collect 250 if they lose. Um, yep, I had a bet with a certain gentleman that's a Falcons fan.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
that they wouldn't go any less than 11-6. They also in a bind of winning out or they're under that mark. So yeah, let's go Vikings. Um,
It was this our good brother Joe?
what was our good
Mm-mm.
brother Phil?
Okay.
Oh,
What's
Mm-mm.
our
Phil.
good brother Phil? He came his filter fish, in there, and he was talking a lot of crazy,
Oh, okay, okay. I know what you talk about.
and he came in there, and then, the first time he came. Matter of fact, what's funny though? I got two bets with him on his record, and it's funny because he bet me on his ceiling, and he bet me on his floor. Oh, $100 a piece. I could have already collected on the floor. I told him I collect that one time, man. Collect all at once. I do got the Vikings today. Give me Aaron Jones for the anytime touchdown. Give me Bijan for an anytime touchdown. Give me the Vikings. I don't know about the over under. And yeah, on the no bet list for today is Justin Jefferson. Until, until he break this streak of getting locked up out of the end zone, I'm not going. Like, some funny thing, I brought it up in the space, right? And dude was like, he had 99 yards. I was like, did I say touchdown? Where's the touchdown? I don't care if you got 1,000 yards. If you ain't got no touchdown, you didn't hit my parlay good, brother. So yeah, give me Aaron Jones for a touchdown, Addison for a touchdown, and Bijan for a touchdown.
Um, yeah, man. I just as far as I don't like I don't trust the Falcons. Bijan should be. I don't know. I don't know which team is going to show up, man. I don't know if they're going to go heavy Bijan or not. I don't know if they're going to go heavy Kurt or not. And then on the other side with Minnesota, man, like um, Sam Darnold is literally falling apart in real time. Um, I just can't understand uh, his lack of production with all of that talent around him and the offensive line. It just doesn't make sense, especially how he hit the ground running. Um, this is something I'm a pass on. All of it, even the six at home. Um, I can't even go with the over. It's just it's too many question marks for me with both teams. So I'm cool on this one.
Yeah. I watched that Falcons and Chargers game, and that Falcons defense did show up for the first half. I, I don't really know what happened in the second half of that game. That's when the Chargers offense was able to kind of get a little bit more balance because in the first half of the game, uh 104 or 5 of the 120 yards that Herbert had was to Lad McConkey. And that just shows you the inconsistency they have on offense. Um, I thought J.K. Dobbins being out of the game would be a problem. To me, it was. Yeah, Gus Edwards did have some good runs, but for the most part, he was held and contained. He was contained. Quentin Johnson cannot consistently catch the ball. Can't catch the ball at all. Actually, dropping passes that's hitting his hands. Joshua Palmer, a big body wide receiver that can't make the contested catch. That's the and they were still able to win because the Falcons gave them what 3 turnovers, and then you turned the ball over inside your own 45. And then you get a pick six from Kirk Cousins. I don't. I don't know if he was late or if the receiver didn't run the right route. I'm not sure what happened with that pick six, but it seemed like a lot of bad play, like a lot of bad decision making in regards to that. And then you float the ball to the defense when you had your team had a chance to win the game. Um, so yeah, Kirk Cousins hasn't really been playing his best game. The offensive play calling to me hasn't really been there because you do two jet sweeps and it's third and one. I don't understand why you're not taking advantage of the fact that you're getting more push inside the tackles than hitting the outside runs or even the jet sweeps. The Vikings, they were able to pull out that win against the Cardinals. And I like that because I definitely thought the Cardinals was going to win. But Kyler Murray kind of played a sloppy game, and the Vikings were able to take advantage of that. And I think this is what the Vikings are going to be able to do. I think they're going to be able to disrupt that Falcons offense. And I think that they're going to score the points, and the defense is going to like I said, keep them contained. I don't know what's going on with Bijan with the Falcons. I don't understand what's with that, but he's not getting the production I thought he could um this season. And I think the Vikings, especially with Addison and Aaron Jones, I think was a big addition for them in the offseason, him showing up. I think having that type of consistency with Jetta's kind of getting his self back into a rhythm, I think the Vikings will win this.
Today, Raiders versus Bucks. Bucks favorite about 6.5. Over under 12.
Smitty, your mic is cooked.
Sound
My
like
phone.
BK out here, brother.
I'm,
My
Mm.
phone hot. My phone hot. My phone hot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I take that back.
I mean, cook. I mean, that shit cooked like a Thanksgiving turkey, man.
Yeah, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
They put that shit in the oven and went to sleep. Let me see, man. The Bucks should mop these boys, man. I just don't see how the Raiders compete here. Um, their situation is abysmal. The offensive line is they trying to keep it together. I do like Bowers, man. Like slowly acquired but kept, man. This motherfucker's having.
Someone typing or something?
I think that's Smitty. I think he
Oh,
came back. Yeah.
No.
Brock Bowers is low key having a really great freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie year. Um, he's killing it out there, man. He's routing these motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? And you can even see it like they try to bracket this motherfucker. They try to double him. You know what I'm saying? Anytime he gets behind the linebacker, you see a safety crash down on him. Like they're trying to do everything that they can to contain him, and he's like he's getting busy on these motherfuckers week in and week out. But I don't think it's enough. I'm starting to hear a little mumbling and grumbling from Max, man. He say he tired of losing. You know, the last interview, it's a lot going on in Vegas right now, and the Bucks they got to get ahead of Atlanta because they got swept. You know what I'm saying? So they need this game. You know, they need all this, especially if Atlanta lose to like if Atlanta lose to Minnesota and the Bucks lose. uh, if Tom Bowles might be out of there if they can't get above Atlanta these last four games, and
Yeah, the
I
Bucks
don't want to see that.
essentially have to go 5-1 to be able to get ahead of the Falcons, and that's assuming the Falcons go 4-2
Yeah,
in their last game. So if the Falcons go 4-2, the Falcons will still be ahead of the Bucks. So the Bucks need the law. They need that loss from the Falcons to come.
and
But
you got to get this one. Like
hmm
you did this. I ain't nothing easy. Okay, but if there's a game that you can get. where you can put your foot on their throat early and control the game. This should be it at home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, man. I mean, I don't see a reason to pick the Raiders. I mean, Raiders are trying to get as high in the draft order as they can. So I mean, give me the Bucks to win. 7 points is a lot in the NFL to win by though, but and it's in Tampa, so I think they could do it. Um, yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to say about the game. I mean, like what kind of certified said, man, like Bowers went to Georgia, so I already know about what Bowers could do. I'm not that surprised. And just imagine what he would do with a better quarterback. That's the scary thought. And like, you know, like what's gonna happen when the Raiders draft a quarterback next year and actually draft some other weapons to surround Bowers with? Like that's gonna be a very scary proposition. Prop wise, Raiders, I would take Bowers receptions and yards. I'd take Jacoby Myers' yards too. I probably take Bowers. The only person I really trust to get in the end zone on the Raiders is Bowers, so I'll take him. Buccaneers. Bucky Irvin had a huge game last week. I probably take Bucky for like 60 rushing yards. And a touchdown. I'll definitely take Mike Evans for a touchdown. I'll take Mike for 50 yards as well. And then I'll take Cotton on his reception and his yards.
All right, is my mic good?
Yep.
Yeah, I had to switch phones. The other phone got hot, raggedy ass phone. But no, I think this game right here is a game that the Bucks really, really need if they want to stay in contention for the playoffs. They're gonna have to beat the Raiders, but I don't think the Raiders want to win games. I've watched plenty of games where they've been in the game at the end of the game and they did everything they could to make sure they lost. I think this is another example of that. I think this, like Mick said, is a game where you should be able to get up and get out on them and you know push your will against them at this point. Man, I don't think they're really trying to fight to really get much going. But I do like what obviously Brock Bowers has showed. I think that team, once they get another weapon and maybe solidify some things around the offense, they could be formidable next year. But give me the Bucks minus the 6.5. What's the dude name? The second running back for the Bucks.
Bucky Irvin. He's
Yeah.
actually their running back one though. No.
Oh, okay.
That nigga is a monster.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
still be seeing Rashad White too much. But
Yeah.
for how
Yeah.
good he is, I see Rashad White too much. Give Bucky more carries. He
Yeah,
been
but I think they're
dominating.
trying to
But give
run.
me his yards.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to run a committee with Irvin, the Rashad White, and Sean Tucker. Like I think they're trying to keep them all fresh. I think that's why you
They
see.
don't play Tucker enough, bro. Listen, you remember when I forgot who it was. Somebody went down on my team. I picked him up as a running back because he had a good week.
Yeah.
Like 1 week where like Bucky might have been hurt or Rashad White was hurt. He had a pretty nice game, and then it seemed like they just don't want to use him as much.
I mean,
I think he deserves some extra carries though. He do show up when he get the ball.
he's the third guy. So I mean, like, really, how they work their system is who got the hot hand, and so a lot of these
That's
Buck,
not necessarily true because Bucky has had the hot hand and they would still start giving Rashad White the starter snaps.
I mean, Bucky is kind of slender, so maybe they just want to make sure that they can keep him healthy, though. There's that. I mean, he's not the biggest running back in the world either. So he's tall, but he's just not. He don't got a lot of weight on him.
Go ahead though, Pop. I don't know if you went. My phone was all shitty.
No, you good. Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said for the most part. I think the Bucks are gonna handedly win this game. I think I'll take them for the minus 6.5 because they have that capability to do so against this Raiders team. That is, I'm not sure if they know what needs to happen because they're playing like they're trying to win. But then also making boneheaded moves to lose the game. So I'm not sure, but that could just be they're a bad team and bad teams playing bad games. I will say this though, the Bucks can still make the playoffs, even if they like say drop a game, they can still make the playoffs, and that's because they have the tiebreaker over the Commanders. So if the Commanders are in, the Bucks have a similar record to the Commanders, they'll be able to get in above them because they have the tiebreaker in regards to that. So the Bucks can either win the division and get in, or just win out and get in. So the Bucks are going to be a playoff team, and I think this is just going to be another game for them to move towards. I would probably take Bauer's receptions, Mike Evans as well. I think Mike Evans can have a really good game. Bucky can have a really good game. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm touching in this game. Maybe Baker and his passing attempts or his yards or whatever. I'll take that as well.
All right. So the next game. Hold on. Did I miss a game?
No, there's a bunch of teams.
No.
It feel like I got the Steelers on here twice for some reason. All right, I'll come back. We'll go. Panthers versus Eagles. Eagles favored by 13.5. The over under is 45.5. Shit. This the week right here where I'm gonna put a little money on Saquon doing some crazy shit. So give me Saquon for over 150. Give me 3 touchdowns. I think Adam Thielen too. Give me Adam Thielen yards. He been doing all right lately with them. Give me AJ Brown anytime touchdown, and Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Because if anybody fall at the 1 yard line, y'all know what it is. Don't fall at the 1, goddamn it.
Oh man.
Matter of fact, Mick last game he fell at the 1 and touched.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I was saying that, man. If you got a Saquon anytime touchdown, he falling out the 1, man. I feel bad for you.
But no, I don't know about the 13.5, but I'm probably gonna take the 13.5. I ain't gonna cap.
All right, man. Let's go next. I don't understand. I get the Eagles are playing some of the best football in the league, but the Panthers are actually playing pretty well themselves. They haven't really, it hasn't turned into wins, but they played a lot of close games over the last month. So I'm gonna take the Panthers plus the 13.5. There's no doubt in my mind that the Eagles are gonna win the game. I'm not really doubting that. Very, very, very seldomly do teams cover when they're favored by almost 2 touchdowns. It doesn't happen a lot. So I'll go with the odds and I'll take the Panthers plus the 13.5. I think the Panthers keep it close in the first half, but then I think the Eagles will get a healthy lead in the second half or something like that. I mean, I just heard that your tight end is going on IR, so he's about to be out for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. They don't like that nigga no way.
I was just gonna say that, bro.
Yeah, but it's still a loss, though. I mean, like, he's still a pretty good blocker.
Bro, I told you 8 weeks ago I'll take Grant Calcaterra in the passing game over Dallas Goedert.
Well, I mean, now you ain't got a choice.
Yeah, now you ain't got a choice. So, yeah.
I mean, I wanted it anyways. I mean,
hey, man, it's an early Christmas gift. Look at you.
Grant is, listen to me, bro. Grant is more consistent than Dallas. Dallas will get into the confines of I'm not being found and just start pretty much blocking. I mean, he turns into a blocker. Grant finds those Travis Kelce holes in the defense, and he sits down, makes himself available. That's why I like him better.
But yeah. So I mean, that's what I see in the game. I think the game gonna go over because the Panthers do have the ability to score. I do like Chuba Hubbard for anytime touchdown. He's been pretty consistent with that. I think he can notch about 40. Like I wouldn't go crazy because the Eagles got a really good defense. I wouldn't go crazy on his rushing yards. I'd probably take him at 40 just to be safe with it. I would take Bryce Young's over on his yards because his passing yard numbers aren't like large or anything like that. So I think he should be able to hit that because I think they're going to be down, so they're going to be throwing a lot. It's probably got to be like around 200. I think it's got to be around 195, 200, maybe 205.
If it's anything under 2, I'll take it.
Yeah, so around there, I'll take that. I'll take Thielen for 40 yards. I'll take Leggett for 25. Eagle side, man, there's 3 guys on this offense that I'm really gonna roll with this week. It's 3 main guys. It's Saquon, it's AJ, and it's Smitty. I'm gonna take Saquon for 80 rushing yards and a touchdown. And also take him for 25 receiving yards. AJ, I'm gonna take him for another 80 yards receiving and a touchdown. And I'm gonna take Smitty. I'm gonna be conservative with Smitty because Smitty come back his first week back. I'm gonna take Smitty for 4 receptions and 40 yards. I don't know if Smitty get in the end zone because, like I said, taking players coming off of IR, I'm kind of conservative about that because I just don't know how healthy he really is.
Hey, JMIK, you want a funny stat?
Sure, shoot.
This is the third time in history the number 1 rushing team has faced the number 32 rushing team. Every team starting running back in those games has averaged 220 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he went for like well over 100. I mean, and
I really don't want to have to kill him today, to be honest. I really want to look at the thing. He got 13 carries for like 101 yards, and he sat the fourth quarter. Because he's been averaging, 27 carries a game up to this point?
God, I mean, this Iowa State defense is horrible. Thank God I picked Arizona State to win this game. But yeah, I mean, like those are props I like. But no, I mean, you could throw in a self ticket too, like a single ticket for Saquon. I mean, because I know FanDuel, like you could take him, like and you can ladder him up.
I might do on FanDuel today. I might go 2-2 on a ticket by itself. 200, yeah. 2 touchdowns.
Because I'm not sure you could ladder up to 200 though. I know you could ladder up to like 120, 130, I think. But I mean, and you never know. I mean, but you might
FanDuel won't let you do 200.
I'm not sure. I've never tried to do 200 on FanDuel.
I think Hard Rock only let you do 150.
Yeah, I'm not sure about FanDuel though, because I've never tried to ladder up a player that high. But the thing is, the numbers that Saquon been putting up, you might be able to ladder him up that high. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, let me know.
But yeah, I mean, like I expect Saquon to have a huge day. Yeah, you can ladder Saquon up to 200 yards. It's plus 1,300. So those are pretty good odds for. I mean, you put a little sprinkle on that at plus 1,300. I mean, and you can make a good amount of change.
Yeah, I can only go to 150.
Yeah,
I might call you later.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, those are props I like, and we'll see. I mean, like the Eagles gonna win the game. I don't think there's any doubt in that. But I'm just curious to see how Brown, Saquon, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown too. That's just an anytime touchdown that I ride with every single week. So.
I think I can't get jiggy with this 13.5. That's a lot of fucking points. Especially with how Carolina's defense has been playing as of late. Now, granted, they are playing a juggernaut on offense, but I could see I don't know, man. I could see Philly going up and sitting their boys, and then Carolina getting it to like 10 or 9 points or some shit like that.
That's the only reason I don't want to touch it. Certified. I believe they give up that last second bullshit touchdown.
Yeah,
we up like 17. They give up a touchdown, win by 10 type shit.
and it's like, listen, man. Effort is only going to take you but so far, you know. Carolina, man, like they bring their chin straps, man. You know what I'm saying? Like them boys, they come to play. But that's a hell of a uphill battle, man, going up against that Philly offense. They clicking right now. And I could I don't see anybody not hitting a number. AJ Brown for a 20+ yard reception. AJ Brown on his targets for sure. Saquon on his carries, yards, and touchdowns. Matter of fact, I'll do his total yards from scrimmage. Um, and on the other side, I'll probably go. I don't know, man. Philly's secondary is like really stepped up. That Thielen thing is, I don't know. I don't know. If you go with it'll probably close out like late. Maybe Chubb. I don't know, man. They just so up and down on offense to me. I had Chubb on one time, and I think it was that game he fumbled in the fourth quarter, and they pulled him. Or maybe it was overtime they lost. I forgot. But was that the Chiefs game? I can't remember. But anyway, Yeah, I don't like I don't like the spread. The over under Philly float around score 30 by themselves. Um the over is like 50-50 for me, but AJ Brown and Saquon is I think are the sure bets here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Saquon is gonna have himself a day. The Panthers are very deficient at the linebacker position. So once he gets through that first line, it's gonna be smooth sailing for him. I don't think it's gonna be this wildly blowout game that I think people are assuming because this Panthers team has gone toe to toe with a really good Bucks offense and the Chiefs. Um, they were able to go toe to toe with them. Yes, they lost, but those losses were 3 points or less. Those losses were 3 points or less, and they even took the Buccaneers into overtime last game. They eventually lost due to a Hubbard fumble, but the Panthers played really competitive ball.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I do like the Eagles to win. I just don't think it's gonna be a I just don't think it's gonna be the blowout that people think it will be. I'll take the over on points because both teams can score over 20 points. And yeah, any prop for Saquon, I'll even probably take Hurts passing yards. For the Panthers, I'll take Thielen and Hubbard to hit their marks.
All right. So the next game we got on here is Jaguars versus Titans. Titans favored by 3.5, over under 40.5. Hey, I'm gonna low key say this on the Eagles game before we go. I don't believe the Panthers are gonna score a touchdown. It's my honest opinion. But go ahead, Mick.
I mean, man, I feel like this is the booty bowl right here, man. The Jaguar. I mean, like this is. I mean, this is like a bowl. This is like a game to I mean determine that who got a better chance to stay in the top 5 draft position, man. That's how I feel. And these teams do play again in 2 weeks. Just let y'all know.
Oh, we got
So
back to back booty balls that fast? God damn.
yeah, I mean, like it's one of those situations. Like it's like the Patriots and the Bills. Like we play them 2 out of the last 3 weeks of the season. I think.
Hey, so this could be like a big shuffle if one team was able to sweep the other one, huh? In
Well,
the
if the
draft position. Draft
well,
position.
not even just a sweep. If the Jaguars win one of these 2 games against the Titans, they're not going to be in first. Like right now, they got the first pick. If they win any of these games, they're not going to be first pick anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna drop to like the five,
But
six slot.
7, yeah, something
that's what
like
I was saying.
Who's
Like,
that?
so
The
if the Jag,
Jaguars?
if
yeah,
the
the
Jags
Jaguars. Yeah,
somehow
hmm
swept the Titans,
Oh my
it would really
God.
set everybody up how
If
they
the
want them to.
Jaguars sweeps the Titans, they drop to the bottom of the top 10,
yeah.
potentially outside the top
I
10.
do not want to see the fucking Jaguars with yet another top 10 pick.
Well,
Oh, they can't stop that.
Jesus fucking
well,
Christ, man.
well, I
Hey,
mean,
they
they
getting
definitely get
there.
the top 10 pick, but it's like they don't. It doesn't matter. Like they could win one of these last 4 games. They don't
I'm
need
with
the quarterback.
simple. I'm
It
with
doesn't really
simple.
matter.
Let it end like that. That's what I'm taking on the ticket.
So, but man, I have a rooting interest, man. So, because I'm sitting at 4 right now. So I have a rooting interest for the Jags to win. So I mean, it's no good. I mean, there's no good way to roll with it, really. I mean, whether you pick the Jags and Mac Jones or the Titans and Will Levis, I mean, it's crap. It's crap all the way around. So I'll just pick with my rooting interest, which is I need Jacksonville to win. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville to win and a Mac Jones win. Um, I'm not digging into a game like this. I'm gonna give you some props that I do like. I might not bet on them, but it's some that I do like. I like Tony Pollard for 50 yards and a touchdown. Um, I like also on the Titan side, I like Calvin Ridley for 50 yards. Um, the tight end, I forgot what his name was. I think it starts with an O. I take him for 25 yards. Will Levis I'll take him for anytime touchdown. Jaguar side, I'll take Mac Jones for anytime touch. I mean, not anytime touchdown, but anytime interception. Same goes for Will Levis. It's a 2-for-1 special in this game. I'll take Brian Thomas Jr. for 50 yards and a touchdown. And I don't know the rotation of running backs, whether it's going to be ETN alone or him and Bigsby. So I'm just not going to touch that either.
Um, this shit is awful. Um, let me ask y'all something before I start. How do y'all feel about the Jaguars sitting down Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the season?
But I think he didn't he have like surgery this week or something on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, surgery. I did. I thought it was because of the concussion or whatever. Um,
Well, he
I,
was battling a shoulder injury in when he played the Texans, and it just
Yeah,
hey
got
Pop,
aggravated in the game.
shoulder surgery be fucking me up too. So I sympathize
Bro,
with you.
bro.
Hey, look, I didn't even indulge in that. I ain't even indulge.
Because I knew what you was trying to say, and I was like, "Oh, it's about to fuck her up." Um, I just both of the, I just, I just, both of these things are massive disappointments. Um, I just can't without uh Trevor Lawrence. I can't, I can't even trust the ETN props. And then on the other end, God damn it, I know this motherfucking name all the time. What's that running back at
Oh,
Tennessee?
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard. Um, I don't know, man. This shit, he might have 80 yards. He might have 40. You know what I'm saying? It's just these are just two really shitty teams right now. And I'm cool. That's it.
Hey, my props for the game. I ain't gonna even say much, and then Pop can go. My props for this game, both field goal kickers for a field goal, and I'm going with Big Simple for the first time this year in history. Tie ball game, 3-3 tie game.
Wait
That's
a
how
wow.
my
minute. They got that shit at point five or 1.5.
they got them both at point. They got both of them at point five. I'm taking both of them.
Oh, my nigga. That's a
Touching the
great
game.
prop. That's a great prop.
I'm
Nah,
taking.
nah, no,
I'm, ta-
no dead ass. That's a great prop. If you can
I'm taking
get
a
both of
field
them
goal.
at point five, that's great.
I think they got I bought down the Jaguars kicker. They had him at 1.5. They wanted him to make two, but I took him down to point 0.5.
Who's
It's
Jacksonville's backup?
backup
It's Mac,
quarterback, Mac
uh,
Jones.
good old Mac Jones.
Oh shit.
Hey, nah,
Hey,
don't say
that's your
that, cause
man's Vic.
Nah, nigga,
nah.
that's not my man. I don't know what you talking about. No, we trade that dude
Nah,
last off season.
listen.
Not my man.
Last week when Trevor Lawrence was in, Brian Thomas Jr. had no stats at all. Mac Jones came in and spammed him. I was able to win a fantasy matchup because of that. So I'm going with my parlay, not my parlay, my fantasy team. I am currently the top team. I'm heading to the playoffs and I'm trying to secure a playoff win. And I have Brian Thomas Jr. on my team. So I'm going for a good game from the Jaguars. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to have a really competitive game. I think he's going to have about 60, 70 yards, which is good enough for me. Um, Travis Etienne, I think, has played a little better, but I don't know if that's saying much considering he hasn't really played well off season. Tank Bigsby, that's a question mark because he was questionable last week, so I don't know if he's full go coming into this week. There's that. But Tony Pollard, he might not hit his yards, but he hits his attempts. So if that's something that you're looking to take, I'll go with that because he averages about 16 carries a game and he hits it every time for the most part. I don't know who's gonna win. I can't choose a winner. Um, I'll take the Jaguars just because I love the fact that the first round pick keeps changing hands. So, yeah, I'll take the Jaguars to win this game. That's not saying much. And I'm staying away from any spreads or over unders because this game is just way too unpredictable for that.
All right. So the next game we have Jets versus Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 6. Over under is 45, 44 and a half. Go ahead, Mick. You can have it. Your division.
Man, if you seen the Jets injury report, it reads like a CVS receipt. What it reads like. Brees Hall, I just seen recently Brees Hall was ruled out of the game. Um, I think Tyron Smith is not playing. I think Olu, the draft pick, he's questionable. CJ Mosley, I think he's out with a neck issue. They just got a bunch of injuries, man. And I just going out in Miami and playing Miami, it's not the team you want to go with a whole bunch of injuries because they could boat race you. That's just, I mean, when the weather's warm, that's what they could do. And they playing in Miami, so the weather's gonna be warm. So I think it's gonna be close. I mean, give me the Dolphins minus the 6. Um, I mean, you just gotta, and you just gotta pray for the Jets' well-being at this point, man, because that season has gone terribly wrong. The props I like in this game on the Jet side, I think since Brees is out, you gotta love Braylon Allen. I mean, he's gonna get carries, so I'd probably take Braylon Allen for 40 yards. I would take Devontae for 40 yards. I'll take Garrett Wilson for 40 yards. I think Devontae got in the end zone for them last week, so I'm gonna go Wilson getting in the end zone this week. And then I think Braylon Allen. I'm not taking 2 jet plays to get in the end zone. I'm gonna take one, so I'm gonna take a Garrett Wilson. Dolphins side, give me 2 for his yards. Give me A Chain to get in the end zone and for 50 yards rushing, and give me A Chain for 25 yards receiving. I like Tyreek Hill in a bounce back game for him to go for 60 yards and a touchdown. I like Jalen Waddle for 40 yards, and I also like Jonnu Smith for 5 receptions, 50 yards and a touchdown.
Hey, Mick, when the last time Tyree scored? Last week? But before that win?
Nah, he scored last week.
Oh no, I'm asking. I thought he might have.
Nah, I
It's
don't
been
think
a
he
few
scored.
weeks for him too, right?
I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks. Because I mean, he didn't score in the Patriots game either. The Patriots game was, I believe, 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So he hasn't scored in a little bit.
Is they rookie playing this week?
You're talking about
Right or whatever?
Nah, it's not right. I think it's Malik Washington, right?
Yeah, Malik. Yeah.
I mean, and Malik been playing every week. It's like spot duties. Like he don't get a full arrangement of snaps, but he'll get a nice little 20, 25 snaps in the game.
Nah, look, I've been AJ Mick. For the people that's watching, man, I've been looking for those guys, man. I see. I told you earlier I had Tim Patrick on the parlay.
Yeah.
Might take Washington for two or three receptions today, man. But the Jets look horrible, so I'm taking the Dolphins for the win. A Chain for the anytime, Tyree for the anytime, Jalen Waddle, three receptions, 40 yards.
Um, yeah, last week was the first time Tyreek had a touchdown since Tua went out.
Okay, I knew
Um,
it had been a minute.
yeah, it's his first touchdown since week 4, I think. Week 4. Um,
So he
I
on a
don't know
Justin
about
Jefferson. He was on a Justin Jefferson stretch.
yeah. I keep saying if not now, when for the Dolphins, and every time I say that they lose, and I said it, so they're probably gonna lose. Um, I don't understand what's going on in Miami. I know everybody dealing with injuries. I saw Jalen Phillips or Javon Phillips. I saw that he's actually doing deadlifts and squats from that Achilles tear that he had or whatever. Um, the Dolphins defense is playing better, but it's like the games that they're supposed to win, they don't. And this is the a division game. Um, I- and they even with the props, it's like, is it going to be Mostert or A Chain? Is it going to be fucking Tyreek Hill or Waddle? Are they going to pass or are they going to run? I don't know. And on the Jet side, I know who Sauce is out and Brees is out, but Braylon Allen, man, I think he might actually be a better fit to face the Dolphins. Bigger guy, bruiser, physical, um, downhill type running back. Uh, the The Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams connection has not produced at all. Is not manifested at all. Garrett Wilson is really the only guy that I think will actually hit his props, targets, yards, and receptions. Outside of that, everything is like up in the air, man. Like neither one of these teams are consistently doing anything. So it's like I don't know what Dolphins team is going to show up. I don't know what Jets team is going to show up. So um and the Jets are pretty banged up. It's late in the year, so it's not as hot in Miami. So I don't think the weather is going to play that much of a factor, but um I don't know about that six. They could smoke them, man. They
This a
they
one
could beat
o'clock
them
game,
by
right?
I
If
think
anybody
so.
know. Oh, it's gonna be cool in the morning time. Yeah, it's gonna be straight.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think it'd be fun to watch, but outside of Garrett Wilson, I really wouldn't touch any of these props. Maybe the under. That's about it.
I like Garrett Wilson and Braylon Allen. I mean, that's about it for my ticket. For the Jets, I'll take Garrett Wilson for his. I'll take Garrett Wilson for his receptions. I'll take Braylon Allen for his yards. Give me Tyreek for the anytime. But yeah, Pop, go ahead. It's on you.
I just quickly want to say I was wrong about Iowa State. Arizona State is killing them. Um, and
What's the
it's
score?
good. It's 17-10, but the Arizona
Mm.
State offense is able to move the ball effectively against the
Oh,
Iowa
I
State
see. They
defense. You see what
they
I mean?
down at
Like
the
it's
25 already. Okay.
yep, yep. So Arizona State is having great effectiveness, and Iowa State offense. Arizona State defense is able to disrupt Iowa State's offense. So yeah, but anyways, to this game, Jets Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I just hold on. I keep getting a call. I just think they're the better team, and that's not saying much. I just don't like anything that's going on with the Jets right now. It's just dysfunction across the board. Um, they had a big boy pick six on them. It's, it was like a what 91 uh interception return by Leonard Williams, their former draft pick. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm gonna take Jonu's receptions because he's been killing it in that. I'll take a Tyreek prop, maybe his yardage. Um, I'll take Tua. I'll take Tua hitting his yards. I'll take Garrett Wilson in his receptions as well. Uh, Even Tay, I'll probably take his receptions. But yeah, the Dolphins should win this game. I'm not touching any spread or over under, because I can't trust either team to be consistent. But yeah, I'll just take the Dolphins outright.
All right, next game we got is Seahawks versus Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 2.5. Over under is 44.5. If the Cardinals win, do they retake the lead?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I gotta look at the division standings.
Let me check real quick.
Um,
Well, I think Arizona will be back in first because Arizona's division record would be 3-1,
yeah.
while Seahawks would be 2-3. So yeah,
Okay. I'm taking the Cardinals in this game. Give me Kyler Murray rushing yards. Give me Marvin Harrison for 25 receiving yards. Give me James Conner for that infamous anytime touchdown. Give me Geno Smith for 25 rushing yards. I mean, no. God damn it. Give me what the Walker dude. I meant the Walker dude.
Kenneth
Cause he
Walker.
been yeah, Kenneth Walker for 25 rushing yards. He been so iffy Andy for me. I usually take him for more. I'm trying to be on the safe side with him this week because he just been up and down with the rushing. And give me Geno Smith I want to say 2 passing touchdowns.
Mm.
One to JSN and one to, oh no. But yeah, that's I like the Cardinals to win though. I think the Cardinals pull out a close one, something like 21-24 or something like that. Something close.
I I think the Cardinals cover. Um, this should be close. Um, 2.5. That's about right. That this looks like a field goal game. I think some points are going to be scored. I'm not too high on Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray. I know last week they kind of like connected and everything, but um, they're too inconsistent. Trey McBride is money in the bank for his receptions and yards. Um, on the other side, Gino, I think he's on a streak with hitting his completions and attempts, and JSN yards is pretty much money in the bank. That's what I like so far on that.
Pop.
Um, I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I think they've been playing really good ball down the stretch. I think Smith has been playing really well, protecting the ball really well. Kenneth Walker, I think he's been banged up. I'm not sure what his health going into the game is, and that could potentially be an issue for the Seahawks, just because I think having a consistent run game helps take the pressure off of Geno Smith. But JSN has really stepped into the role that I thought he could have had with the Seahawks this year. He's really transitioned well. His game has elevated, and he's turning into a pretty good slot wide receiver. And I think we're seeing the new wide receiver core with Metcalf and JSN in Seattle right now. I'll take JSN anything. He's hit his receptions and his yards for the past 4 to 5 weeks. I'll probably take Kyler's rushing yards. I can't really trust anything on their offense because it's just too inconsistent. You never know which player is gonna get what any given Sunday for real. Outside of Kyler and James Conner. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Seahawks. Like I said, that offense and the defense has really kind of stepped up. The Seahawks defense still isn't where I thought it could be with having McDonald there, but they're coming on strong in the later part of the season.
On you, Mick.
Okay, so Seahawks Cardinals. I mean, this is a tough game to pick for me. Seahawks can pretty much they can pretty much get a stronghold on this division if they win this game. Because they're already one game up on the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals once already. So if they were to beat the Cardinals again, they'd be 2 games. They'd be 2 whole games up. And then since they beat them, they essentially be 3 games up on them. And I'm taking the Rams are going to lose to the Bills. So disappointing game for them. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, man. Like I just think that right now the defense is playing a lot better than they did at the beginning of the season. The offense has been pretty steady with Geno. My only issue with the game is I think Kenneth Walker is not playing in this game. I think he's out.
Okay, take that back down. 25
Yes,
yards.
yeah. So I think Charbonnet is going to play. I mean, Charbonnet is a good back. He just doesn't. He just doesn't have the same burst as Kenneth Walker. I think that's my main issue with that. So is it the burst is not like he doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he's still he's effective in the run game and the pass game. And like Pop said, like man, I got that trio, man. I got Lockett, I got JSN, and I got DK. I mean that's one of the best trios in the league. So I just got the Seahawks winning. So give me Seahawks money line. I think the games are gonna go over. Props I like. Certified's right, man. Like Trey McBride is like a demon at the tight end position, man. He hits his targets and his targets, his reception, his yards almost every week. So whatever those are, I'm very comfortable taking those. Give me John Connor for a touchdown, probably about 40 yards rushing, I'd say somewhere in there. Trying to think of the guy's name, like the wide receiver kid, the guy from Ohio State. His name's escaping me right now, but yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. He hasn't really had the season that a lot of people thought he was going to have. If I'm going to take him on any props, it'd probably be somewhere like 3 receptions and 40 yards, some along those lines. I can't, like, he scored touchdowns sporadically, but I can't really, pencil him in for a touchdown anywhere because it just, like, it could happen or it couldn't. So I'm not going to depend on that. And on the Seahawks side, give me Charbonnet for 40 rushing yards. Give me JSN for 50 receiving yards, DK for 50 receiving yards, and give me Lockett for 25. I'm being kind of cautious on Lockett because obviously Lockett's an older wide receiver. He doesn't get a lot of yards after the catch. Yak. That's just, he catches it and he's pretty much going down. So I'm gonna take a more conservative approach for him and give me Geno's passing yards too.
All right, next game we have Bills versus Rams. Bills favored by 3.5. Over under is 49.5. I think this is gonna be a really good game, man. The Rams offense has been up and down, but when they are on Puka and Cooper, with that running game and Matthew Stafford, they hitting on all cylinders. So are the Bills. You know what I mean? They both kind of in the same boat right now as far as like being a little up and down. But the Bills, aren't they coming off of they coming off a big win, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They had a huge win this week. So I'm gonna take the Bills to beat the Rams. I'm gonna take Josh Allen. Give me him for 200 passing yards. Um, when does Keon Coleman come back? If anybody know.
Yeah, so I was talking to Whittle this morning. I think Keon's questionable, so he might be back for this game. They're just, even the fans don't 100% know if they could tell you he'll be back yet. But
I know he practiced this week. I know because that
yeah,
was the first time I've seen him in like the post practice interviews in a little minute.
yeah. He's been practicing and stuff. So yeah. When I was talking to Whittle, yeah, he said it's a 50-50 proposition. So it's not like you probably won't
Is
know until.
Kincaid still out?
I think Kincaid's also questionable. So I'm not.
If Kincaid don't go, give me Knox for 40 receiving yards. Give me Shakur for 40 yards. Give me James Cook, whatever his props is, rushing and anytime touchdown.
Yeah, so Kincaid is also listed as questionable too. So Kincaid, Keon, and this other dude named Quentin Morris was their other tight end. So those guys are all questionable into the game.
And for the Rams, give me they running back for anytime. Puka for 50 receiving yards. And Cooper Cup, I'm gonna do the Tyler Lockett. Give me him for 25 because in that Saints game, I thought he was gonna wake up, and that boy took a good nap on me on that last parlay. If I'd have had him for a little bit less, he might would have hit.
Man, Scatterborough for Arizona State, boy. This boy is nice. That's about the fourth time I seen him just like, like break a run for 20 or more yards.
You
Yeah,
can go ahead, Nick.
man. He
The boy
killing
is
them.
nice. He gotta have like over 100 yards already.
Man, if he would have kept his feet, he could have rushed that in. Yeah, I think before it was at the top of the second, they said he was like at 80 yards or something like that already. Yeah, he's cooking right now.
Scatterborough has 9 carries for 140 yards.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus Christ, he cooking them right now.
And he just
Bro
scored
getting
the first
tackles,
touchdown.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
he took it 40 yards to get him inside the red zone.
yeah.
Mm.
Pretty much all their scores have been set up by his long runs. Iowa State pretty much. They're cooked because they can't stop, that Arizona State offense. So yeah.
Whoever want to touch this game can take it.
And I took Arizona State what minus the one, well actually minus 2.5, and I took the over like 50.5 because the over was going to hit. The over was easy.
Yeah, I took
Hmm.
Arizona State and the over too. Shit.
Yeah.
Bills Rams. Listen, Bills are winning. I think Stafford, he got banged up in the Saints game. I'm not sure if he's gonna be questionable for this. We'll see. The Bills just right now they're clicking on all cylinders, man. That defense is playing well. The addition of Amari Cooper, you're seeing the boost that gives to the other playmakers on offense. With the attention he's able to get, it allows more plays to go towards them. I think it kind of opens up the playbook a lot more. James Cook has really been playing well this season. I think he's taken that next step. And I give credit to Josh Allen elevating his game, kind of settling down in the quarterback position this year. Um, yeah, I like the Bills. Just the Rams when it's like they have the ability to be a good team, but the injuries and just performance for certain players is just not there. Like I think that offensive line is just not where it used to be at this moment, and that could be just no cohesion. You have a constant rotation of guys in and out of the lineup. You can't get a cohesive unit. But Kyron has he had a bounce back game, you could say, against the Saints last week. He had over 100 yards rushing and a touchdown as well. So I'll probably go for that for Kyron. But yeah, I'm taking the Bills and I'm taking the over as well. The Bills been cooking and the Rams with Cup and Puka Nakua, they could throw up points and then you add in a running back like Kyron Williams. Yeah, so I like the over on the points and also the Bills money line.
Um,
Um,
I
go ahead,
mean,
man.
yeah, I'll make this quick, man. I mean, I get it. I know what the line's a line because they're traveling cross country to LA. And they had a big game in the snow last week, so I get why the line is only 3.5, but I'll take the Bills minus 3.5.
Big game in the snow,
I mean, it
nigga.
was.
What game was you watching?
I mean, it was a built up to be a big. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, that's how the game was built up during the week and the weeks leading up to it. It just was like it was built. It was a Sunday night football game. It was built up to be a big game. It didn't turn out to be that way, but that's the way it was built. I mean, when it's put on the schedule. Um, but I mean, when I say a big game, I mean the Bills prepared for it like they had to win that because they did. Like they're trying to chase the Chiefs, so they got to win all these games. Because you just don't know when the Chiefs are going to lose. Um, so I think they built themselves up for that game. They performed during that game, and I mean now they got to go all the way to the West Coast to the Rams. And I think the line is so low is because they also got the Lions next week, which some people are calling like the game of the season right now. I mean, and I mean we've heard that term thrown around all season with certain big games in certain weeks. So I think that's why the line is 3.5 is because they might be looking forward to the Lions and like they still got to play the Rams first. But I still like the Bills minus 3.5. Prop wise on the Bills, give me Josh Allen's passing yards. I think his yards probably like 225 or 230 or something like that. Like I'll take that with some of his guys coming back. With Kincaid and Keon possibly to play, and I also think I don't think Amari Cooper was that healthy last week, so I think Amari should be a lot more healthier this week. For that, give me James Cook for a touchdown. Um, give me also I got to pick one of the wide receivers for a touchdown. I think if Keon plays, I think Keon can get in the end zone. It's kind of risky because he hasn't played in a while, but I'll go with Keon on that. Um, I'll I'll take Kincaid's yards for right now. Until I know if he's going to play or not. And on the Ram side, I'll take Kyron for a touchdown, and I'll take Puka Nakua for a touchdown. I think Puka's still gonna have a good game, so he's gonna score, and I think Puka will also get about 5 receptions for 60 yards. Um, I can't really trust Cooper Cup, man, when Puka plays, man, because it's like he don't get the same amount of opportunities that Puka gets. So it's kind of hard for me to want to put him on a ticket because he's kind of blown a couple of my tickets previously in the season.
Bro,
When the both of them was playing.
it's both them niggas, man. It's Stafford, bro. Cause I had Puka on my ticket last week. Him and Cup for 6.5. receptions. Neither one of them got it. They
Who
was
they
doing
put in
this
the
shit
seat?
to Robertson and the fucking tight end and shit, man. It's like Stafford, yo. It's I don't know what's up with him, man.
Um, yeah, I mean, you do have a point. I mean, it's just like it's to me the more dependable guy to depend on is Puka. To me, I could depend more. I've seen. I mean, in terms of betting wise and parlays, like he's when I put him on a ticket, he normally hits for me. So I got more confidence in him than Cup. But also like I mean, there's a chance that Cup get in the end zone because Cup like when they get down to the goal line, he also throws the Cup, like in that red area too. Um, but yeah, I mean, like those are the plays that I like for this game. So
It's on you, sir.
I I'm off the Rams as far as props, man, because Matthew Stafford, I don't know what fucking Stafford is going to show up. Is it going to be 2022 Stafford where he was defense, or is it going to be 2021 Stafford where he led the league in fucking interceptions and shit? Um, and the only thing I like is the Rams defense. Their front seven is them boys playing like they hell on fire right now. Um, but this could be a trap game for Buffalo. You know, they got a good a rough match coming up next week with Detroit and everything. But they're a veteran team. I don't foresee them looking past the Rams. Um, yeah, last time they went to LA, they beat the shit out of the Rams, didn't they?
yeah, that was 2 years ago on opening night. I think
Yeah, 2022. They mopped the hell out of them boys. Um, I'm pretty sure they didn't forget that. Uh, uh, a lot of this team wasn't there, but um, Cooper Cup and Stafford and McVay was there for sure. Um, but I like James Cook. As long as it's not more than 65, I can fuck with that. Josh Allen is more than likely going to hit his anytime 1.5 touchdowns. That's it for me. I got the mm, this could be a trap game. This really could be a trap game, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
All right, we got Bears versus 49ers. 49ers favored by 3.5. Over under is 43.5. Back on you, sir.
I don't know why we favorite, dog. Like we down to our sixth running back. Um, Trent ain't playing. Aaron Banks ain't playing. I don't know why the fuck he's not playing again. I think he just needs to lose weight and be a fucking tight end. I don't think his fluffy ass is built to be an offensive lineman. I just think he's just fat, and that's it. Um, I mean, we got a few guys back, but we got more guys that went back out. So, and Chicago can score points. Well, let's not. You know, I don't know. I don't know. As far as props go, him and Keenan Allen have been clicking. And what's the other motherfucker that I don't the wide receiver? What's his name? The nigga that went to
DJ
Maryland.
Moore.
Yeah,
DJ Moore.
Moore. Uh, Moore has been kind of consistent with his yards. And Williams and Keenan Allen, they been in sync the last like 3 4 weeks. I definitely like his attempts, yards, and catches. Outside of that, um, I don't know, man. It's like Isaac Guerrero, the rookie from Louisville. He's supposed to be starting at running back, but um, I don't know. I don't know. If he went off, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not going to bet on it.
I mean, Mason went off and nobody expected it, so wouldn't be a surprise. This game is gonna be interesting. Because one of these is the hospital team, the 49ers, the CVS list of injuries. And but it
Shit,
seems
crazy.
like a lot of their injuries is like the top players though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Trent, Bosa, Ayuk, CMC. I mean, the guys that you kind of need to put up points kind of out of this game. Um, Defensively though, I mean the Bears offense, yes, it can score points, but they also struggle a lot in games that close. I don't know what the record is, but I'm pretty sure somebody could tell me what their record is when they in a game one score or better. It don't favor them, and that's kind of what I think this game is going to be. I think it's going to be close. Um, Give me the Niners, man, for the win.
I think you gotta look at the context, like why the line is what it is. I think if the Bears were off for 10 days, I think the Niners would have been favored by more, honestly. Because the thing about the Bears is like they went through a coaching change and they had 10 days off. So I don't even know. Because like their last game was what against the Lions on Thanksgiving, right?
Who I
I
think so?
think I knew it was a division game. I know that.
Yeah, I think they played the Lions on Thanksgiving, so they've had a full 10 days off. So I think that's why the line is as close as it is. I just don't the Bears. It's hard for me to know because they got a whole new head coach. So I don't know like what his philosophy is and all that. So it's kind of hard to bet. I mean, I do like the Niners in the game. I mean, the game's back in Santa Clara. I get it. Like both your running backs are out. I mean, but I do like the rookie kid that you drafted or that you signed as an undrafted. I'm not sure if he got drafted or was he undrafted free agent, but I like the kid to begin with. The kid reminds me of like Mostert a little bit. I mean, because he's fast and he kind of runs straight up. I mean, that's kind of his running style.
Which one?
What the
Because
heck?
we signed somebody else off of somebody cut him up and we picked him up, another rookie. You talking about the dude from Louisville or it's another mother? I can't remember where he's from. I gotta look it up. Let me look. I'll be back.
You muted, Mick. At
And
least
that
I
must
can
be
hear.
yeah. I mean, it's the guy, this guy out of Cincinnati. I think his name is Guriendo. I think that's the kid you draft, or either drafted or signed as a free agent. But I think who you're talking about is the guy you got off the Jets practice squad. I think his name is Israel something. I don't think he's going to start. I just think you got him for running back depth. Because you only have Guriendo and Patrick Taylor. That's it. So you need a third guy because you're gonna run the rock. So you kind of got to make sure that you got like another guy just in case one of those other two guys gets hurt. But I mean Guriendo, look, I really like the kid coming into the draft. I mean the kid got good speed. He's not CMC, like he's just not that. But I think he'll still be good for y'all. Um, so yeah, like I like the Niners minus 3.5. Props in the game. Give me Guriendo for 40 yards. I'm gonna be conservative, but I know y'all the Niners are gonna want to run the ball. So I'm gonna like his prop for 40 yards. Give me Kittle for 4 receptions, 40 yards. I like that. Um, Debo, I don't trust. Debo's had a outright horrible season to me. So I'm just not gonna bet him on anything. Actually, give me Guriendo and Kittle for a anytime touchdown too. Give me Jawan. If Jawan Jennings is playing, I'm gonna take him for 40 yards. Um, the Bear side, I'm gonna take Swift for 50 yards rushing, and give me him for 25 yards receiving. I think DJ Moore has another good game. I think he'll go for at least 40 yards. So I'll take him 40 yards receiving. Um, I'll take Roma Dunze for 25 yards. And I'll also take Keenan Allen for 25 yards. I'm gonna be conservative because I think that even though Bosa's not gonna play, I think y'all with the Bears line being so bad, I think you're gonna be able to get after Caleb. So I'm just not comfortable taking his passing yards because I just don't know how many yards he's gonna really pass for in this game.
Pop.
I don't really know. Like the Bears, you fire your coach. maybe that gives the team a boost. We normally do see that first game with the interim coach. You see that. But I also seen it with the Jets that it doesn't work out so well. So we'll see. 49ers, just the injury bug keeps plaguing them. I'm not sure who's going to be starting this game for them. Um, I'll probably lean a little towards the 49ers just because I trust that team a bit more. Um, but yeah, I'm staying away from spreads over unders. I'm gonna just take the 49ers straight up. Like I said, I trust in that team and that coaching staff a lot more than I do with the Bears. Honestly, Caleb Williams, to me, I think he's played a little better and cleaner in the last couple of games, but just offensively, it's not being put all together. The run game is not consistent enough. The wide receivers to me aren't being consistent enough either. I don't know what's going on with Komet in the Bears as well. To me, he's kind of been a no-show in the offense, so I could just be towards the play calling, and maybe that changes. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Um, and yeah, that's it. I don't know what props to take in this game, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just going with the 49ers straight up.
All right, last game for Sunday, Sunday night football. Chargers versus Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 4. Over under is 42.5. Go ahead, Mick. Start us off, bro.
This is the game of the week to me. It's one of the. I mean, we got some good games on the slate, but I think this is the best game of the week. Chargers and Chiefs always play close, good games. Um, Chiefs haven't really been blowing no one out, so I get why the line's only -4. I'm gonna take the Chargers plus the 4. Um, these games normally come down to the Chargers doing something at the end of the game that screws up the game for them, and they end up losing. Um, so what I'm betting on is that the Chiefs win by a field goal. So that's why I think they're going to win by. So that's why I'm taking Chargers -4. Um, props in this game. I mean, give me Pacheco for 50 yards. I mean, Pacheco looked a lot better than I thought he would last week after missing a whole bunch of time. Still looked pretty good, so I'll take him for that. I'll take Kelsey for 40 yards. Um, actually, scratch it. I'm gonna take Kelsey for 25. I'm gonna take Noah Gray for 40 yards. I'm gonna take D Hop for his receptions. I think last week his receptions were at 3.5, so I assume them to be around the same 3.5, 4.5. So I'll take that. I think Pacheco scores a touchdown. And I also think Kelsey scores a touchdown. And on the Chargers side, I'm going to. I think Ladd is questionable right now, so if Ladd does play, like I would take him some for 50. I'll take him for 5 receptions and somewhere around 60 yards. I think he's going to do. Um, I would take Justin Herbert for his yards because I think they're going to have to throw the ball because I think they're going to try to stack the box and stop the run with I mean Gus, and the other running backs that they have. I'm not touching Gus because I mean the only thing I touched Gus for was 25 rushing yards. If I was, he just doesn't have a lot. And also take I forgot. I'll take Ladd for a touchdown. And this is a play the play I'm about to give you is a play you take on a single bet. Don't put this on your parlay. I'm going to take Justin Herbert for a rushing touchdown.
Hey, JMIK,
Yep.
that nigga Justin Herbert been hitting his rushing prop
Mm-hmm.
consistently, and I've been watching. That shit is slowly going up every week.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely hitting that every week.
Because I remember a
Chargers.
few
Is
weeks it was like 25, then it was
it
28. One time I saw the shit was 32, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this nigga Lamar Jackson?"
But I think it's his lack of receivers though. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
he's scrambling to make the play.
yeah. So I mean, I think that's why he gets the rushing yards and like sometimes when they get to the goal line and they got a passing play on, there's no one open, man. He'll run it. I've seen him a couple weeks do that. So I think he's gonna do that this week too.
Yeah, he had a big run against the Falcons to kind of help jumpstart that offense. Is McConkey playing in this game?
He's questionable right now.
Yeah, because I know he got banged up in the Falcons game. So that with him being questionable and me not knowing, I'm gonna just roll with the Chiefs just because they're getting healthier at the right part of the season. They got Pacheco back. They got Emmanuel who back. They got somebody else back. I can't think of their name off the top of my head, but the Chiefs are getting healthier. Um, the first game between them, it was a pretty close game. I think it was 10-17 was the final score. I think it could be something like that because that Chargers defense is stifling and they're good on all levels. Um, they anything you get, you don't have to fight hard for. That's just not a defense you're gonna have all these explosive plays on for the most part. So I think it's gonna be a close game. I do think the Chiefs pull it out though. I just don't outside of Lat McConkey, they don't really have anything there at the wide receiver position. And I believe their starting tight end, Will Disley, also was kind of banged up. So I'm not sure what his health is going into this game. And J.K. Dobbins not being there to me is a huge loss for the run game because I think the drop off from Dobbins to Gus Edwards is very apparent. Edwards doesn't have the same pop Dobbins does, in my opinion, and I saw that in that Chargers Falcons game last week. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Um, -4. I'll probably drop it down to 2.5 if I can, because I think they can win by 3. I'm not sure about the -4 and the points. I'll probably take the under because, like I said, the first time they met, it was a really close game. So I'll probably take the under on the points, but I'm taking the Chiefs money line.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, my bad. Um, Chiefs Chargers. The Chargers are a little banged up right now, man. Uh, but this is a division game, and as much shit that Justin Herbert gets, man, like he has his moments where he kind of like elevates his team. I like what they've been doing under Harbaugh. It's pretty much trying to take the ball out of his hands. If they don't have McConkey, uh, I just don't see how they can compete here, man. Him and Herbert, he's been like his safety net. Him and Herbert have been on fire as of late, and then like Pop said, J.K. Dobbins being out. Gus Edwards is not the same. He is not producing the same. But the Patrick Mahomes has not been playing well at all. But that defense has been holding down the fort so far. The secondary look a little shaky. Um, but at the end of the day, is that Arrowhead? It is very hard to go into that stadium and walk out with a win. Um, My only but the props, man, him and Kelsey have not been um I feel like it's either Kelsey goes off or Hawking goes off or they both have average games, and that bothers me. Um and also they're trying to work Pacheco back into the rotation or whatever, get his legs up under him. So it's a lot of questions. Now I do think that Kansas City covers the 4. Clearly, win a game, of course, if they cover. But the props, man, I don't know. Like I said, Patty and Kelsey, they just haven't been on the same page. Kelsey looks a little banged up. I'm not sure. But him and Hopkins, man, they're up and down. One game, Hopkins, he almost got 100, and then the next game he got like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like I forgot what game it was, but Hopkins was just out there running around, man. Like when nobody paying no attention to him, and it's just a lot of question marks on both offenses. I don't like any of it except for Justin Herbert's rushing yards. I think he's definitely going to get that. I feel like they've been pushing him to pull the ball down and get some yards with his legs. So Herbert's rushing yards and the Chiefs cover. That's about it.
Um, Gina, since week two, I can show you my whole history of Hard Rock, FanDuel, Prize Picks, Sleeper. Yeah, I don't bet with y'all. I don't bet with y'all players. I don't touch anybody on your team. I haven't touched Kelsey, Hopkins, uh, Mahomes, none of that. I don't know who y'all are going to be one week and one week, you know what I'm saying, as far as like who do y'all want to be the guy. One week is like Mick said, one week is Kelsey. The next week is the backup tight end, Watson ain't his name?
No, I think the backup tight end is Noah Gray. I think he's
Noah
just
Gray. And
two.
and but then Watson get a touchdown in the sprinkle in there. I'm like, man, look, what's going on with Kelsey? Like, is he out? Because I took him like maybe two times on the anytime, and then I just said, you know what?
I
I'm just
mean,
not gonna do
Kelsey
this
just
no more.
getting old. That's all. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe it is.
it happens to the best of us, man. We just get old.
I think the Chargers just got too many injuries for this game, in my opinion. If Lad don't play, uh, I don't know how they win this game. You know what I'm saying? I think they need all their pieces. I think J.K. kind of already puts a dent in what they really need as far as the run game. And then for you to lose the best receiver you got on the team, I just don't know how you win the game. If they win it'll probably be very, very close. But I got the Chiefs money line in this game.
Yeah, hey, Smitty, I had Kelsey down for one touchdown because just being familiar with Andy Reid, I'm like, Travis Kelsey, he has, I forgot who he was tied with all-time touchdowns for the Chiefs. And one more touchdown, he takes the lead. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They definitely going to get that. It's going to be a point of emphasis. Man, they missed that fucking. They got to the red zone, and Pat threw over his left shoulder, and Kelsey looked over his right shoulder. Easy little layup touchdown. Man, they ain't go back to that motherfucker till like the end of the fourth quarter. I was so fucking livid.
That's just I'll give
Bro,
it to
you,
you.
you see what you see what Bina said in the comments. He, he
And
he
I
needed
ain't
that
even
to
gonna
touch.
read it. She be acting up.
She said it's Tony Gonzalez, and he still ain't got that one touchdown, good brother.
Yeah, I've been talking to her about that touchdown for like 2 weeks.
That's crazy. All right, so the last game for this week's slate is Bengals versus Cowboys. Bengals favored by 5.5. Over under is 49.5. And I pray to all the gods in football heaven that the Bengals go in Jerry World, take every fit what it is 53, but it's only 48 to get to show up to the game. All 48 players take their belt off and beat the dog dookie out of the Cowboys. I,
What
I
difference?
really want it to be nasty. I really want to go
I hear
on
you.
there.
But I mean, what
Like
what difference does it make? Like
I'm good for
they're not making the
I'm
playoffs.
all for a hate watch, right, Smitty? Like
It's
I'm
not a
all
hate
for it.
watch. It's not a hate watch. This man coming
It
out
kind of
saying he can
is.
win the division and make the playoffs last week is crazy.
I think he just being hype. His team finally won a home game. You know, you're talking. You're talking. You hype. You're excited, right? They won 2 games in a row at that point. They ain't did that for quite some time, so you're just happy. My thing with the Bengals is they can put the points up, but they defense gives up them same amount of points as well. And I think CD should be healthy for this game. Um, yeah, I think the Cowboys have the potential to put up points against this Bengals defense. However, it's the Cowboys defense I have questions with because is Diggs gonna play in this game? Is he healthy back? Are we gonna get more consistency outside of Michael Parsons on that D line? I think T Law, not T Law, Lawrence, the defensive end the Cowboys have for a long time. Um, is he playing in this game? Because I think he
Yeah,
was
he
kind of
came back
banged
last
up.
week. He came back
Yeah,
last week. I
so
think he planned though.
yeah, so maybe another game he could get his feet up under him. I kind of understand why the Bengals are favored. You got Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They cooking offensively, but the 5.5 is. I have a problem with that spread. If anything, I'll probably just go the over on points. Because last week I believe the Bengals and the Steelers had over 80 points scored total. So I will go with the over on the points being scored. I'll run Bengals money line. I just don't like the spread. I think that's too much to expect that Bengals defense to try to hold a team below um 5.5 spread. To be honest, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals and I'm gonna go with the over on the points. I'll take Jamar Chase. If CD is playing, because I know he got banged up in that Giants game, but if he's playing, I'll take CD whatever because they'll spam CD and yeah, that's it. I'm kind of staying away from anything else. I think it's just a little too risky.
Hey, Bina, that's kind of the question I wanted to ask too. Like, I know the Bengals defense bad. Do you think Cooper Rush? I ain't gonna even say the Cowboys. You think Cooper Rush can keep up with the scoring?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible
You think they defense that
because
bad though? I
because
understand though.
yeah, you got CD, you got Schumacher, you got Ferguson. Well, Ferguson's kind of he's questionable. But I'm just saying if Ferguson is trending to play, you have him. Rico Dowdle becoming the starting running back, I think has been a big boost for that offense. He's good in the run and pass game.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you're
think
getting
big.
a
I
little
think
bit of
Fat Boy should have
plays
never been the
from.
starter. Pop.
I agree. I've always said Dotto should have been the starting running back for them, but it is what it is. And then you're kind of getting a little bit more consistency from the third and fourth wide receiver, um, whoever that might be, because they have like a 6-man rotation with that. But yeah, I think the Cowboys offense can put up points. I'm just wondering, will the Bengals defense actually lock stuff down? I don't think the talent that they have is playing up to the standard that I think they could. It's been a very poor showing for the Bengals defensively. So
I get it. Yeah, the Bengals defense has been very poorish. I mean, it's very self-explanatory. But I mean, I got the Bengals winning this game. I don't know. I'm probably gonna take the Bengals minus the 6. I just don't got any faith in Cooper Rush continuing to play well. I mean, he has been playing decent. Um, I think the Bengals just got a little bit more firepower on offense, and they'll be able to even if it's a high scoring game. I think they win by 6. Give me Jamar Chase anytime, CD Lamb anytime. Give me Chase Brown rushing yards. Um, and give me Joe Burrow. Whatever his passing touchdowns is for this game, give me his prop. If you can look that up, Mick, tell me what his prop is. 2.5.
Who's
fumble.
Joe Burrow
it's probably for what Russian?
passing yards.
It got to be like 235, 240.
No, passing yards and touchdowns. My bad. Touchdowns too.
Hold on one second.
Holy shit!
Who fumbled, Pop?
Iowa State running back fumbled.
Uh,
Arizona State looks like was it a
Goodness.
linebacker or
Joe,
safety? Popped the ball out, caused the
Joe,
fumble.
Joe Burrow is 276 and a half, and passing touchdowns is 1.5.
So Arizona
Give me
State
the
has the
passing
ball
touchdowns.
inside the 50, I think. Yep.
Give me Joe Burrow passing touchdowns over 1.5. That's all I got. That's all my props. Make a certified whoever want to go. Either one of y'all can go.
I'm not sure if I could go.
Oh shit! I thought my fucking mic was on. Um, I think we all take delight in seeing the Cowboys get undressed, and that's what I'm hoping
Mhm.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the one thing that I think will happen for sure is the over, and they might hit that
Mm-hmm.
shit in the first half. Joe Burrows is on fucking fire right now. I think he got like 30 touchdowns, 29 touchdowns or some shit like that, and like six interceptions. With like 5 games to go. But on the other side, man, Cooper Rush and CD Lamb, man, like them motherfuckers, they locked in right now. I just think it's gonna be a lot of points scored because both of these starters are shitty. Now last week, CD fucked my ticket up because he got hurt. Not his fault, but that point 0.5 yards rushing, that streak in. Um, Shed a tear for that one. But I'm gonna go for Cooper Rush, his attempts, his yards for sure. Any combination of CDs, targets, catches, reception. I mean, card targets, receptions, and yards. The tight end has came more into the mix with Cooper Rush coming in. We already know how Joe Burrows and what's my man name? A little sassy one. Um, Jamar Chase.
Chase.
Yeah, they stay locked in. T. Higgins should be coming back, but it doesn't matter if T. Higgins is there or not. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow or Joey B, as Gina would call him, they stay locked in. um, yeah, man, those four, um, CD, uh, Rush, Barrels, and Chase, they should all hit their numbers. And that over 49, oh yeah, they gonna smash that. They gonna smash that.
Give me the Bengals -3. I can't really trust them for anything more than -3. The defense is so bad. Um, uh, I'll take the over, man. Like I said, like I just said, the defense is so bad that I think the Cowboys, like this is going to be a like a up and down kind of game. So I think a good amount of points are going to be scored. Um, like it doesn't to me. I'm not going to go into depth because both these teams ain't making the playoffs anyway, so it really don't matter. Prop wise, give me Joe Burrow for 250 passing yards. Give me Jamar Chase 60 yards and a touchdown. If T plays, give me him for 40 yards. Give me Chase Brown for a touchdown and Chase Brown for 40 yards rushing and 25 receiving. Cowboys, give me Rico for 60 yards rushing and a touchdown. Um, I know CD is questionable, so I'm not sure if he's playing or not. So that's kind of still up in the air, I think. Um, I don't know if their tight end is coming back, so I'm gonna stay because he had a concussion 2 weeks ago on Thanksgiving. So I don't know if he's playing or not. So I'm gonna stay away from that too. I mean, because I think you got Ferguson and then you got the other kid that's a second year player. Um,
Shoemaker. Or so-
yeah, Shoemaker. That's it. So yeah, you got that. I mean, like the problem with the Cowboys is if CD don't play, it's like how are they gonna move the offense? I think that's what you got to ask yourself. I'm gonna get bet on the Cowboys. So
Yeah, and that's my thing is I think the Cowboys could score the points, but if CD's not in, nah, I think it's gonna be a blowout. Because without CD, that offense really doesn't move, and that Bengals defense is so poor that a Steelers offense who's averaging about 19 and a half points a game scored 40 plus on them, and they haven't scored 40 plus in almost 3 years.
yeah, I mean Russell Wilson
That's
don't
how,
score a
yeah,
touchdown.
that's yeah,
Crazy.
that's how bad that Bengals defense is, man.
So the last game, usually we don't do too much on the Thursday night football game, but we touch on it. We got Rams versus Niners. Niners favored by 3. Over under is 47. One of these teams, in all of our opinion, is going to be coming off a loss. The other team should be coming off a win. Could be a nice matchup. Could be two. Well, I would assume two teams still fighting for playoff hopes, right?
Oh man. So We are supposed to be getting Bosa should be back next week. Trent should be back next week. Aaron Banks should be back next week, but I hope he doesn't play. Greenlaw is supposed to come back for sure next week, and Hafunga is supposed to be coming back this week. So we'll see. We'll see. If Trent and Greenlaw come back, I'm going with my squad.
I guess I'll go next. I like the 49ers in this spot because like the first game they almost won. It's just the Rams came back in the fourth quarter. So and you know, like I get it, like the 49ers were a lot healthier then, but the 49ers are getting some, you heard what Surf I said, they're getting some players back. So I'll take the Niners minus the 3. Um Prop wise, I
Wasn't that
guess.
the injury bowl the first time?
Yeah, then that's
First
the
game y'all
game we
played, they was missing
lost.
what?
We lost our
Hooper.
fucking kicker,
Oh,
man,
oh yeah.
and we had to go for it on all the fourth downs and shit.
That's crazy. Both of y'all meet each other banged up both times. That's crazy.
Yeah. Um
So
yeah, I mean, I think props for this game, like maybe I'll go Guriendo with a touchdown. Maybe I'll go Jawan Jennings with a touchdown, and then on the Rams side, I'll go Kyron with a touchdown, and maybe I'll go Cooper Cup with a touchdown.
Pop.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to have an opinion on this game without knowing the moves these teams are gonna make. Yeah, I don't know. I'll slightly lean towards the Rams for this, but it's just it's just too hard to call, especially if I don't know what the makeup of the 49ers game is. I think it's gonna be a competitive game because the NFC West, I think, is the most competitive division in my opinion. There is no clear cut favorite, and each of these divisional matchup games are gonna matter to who's gonna eventually win it. Yeah, I'm gonna slightly just lean the Rams just because, like I said, they're the healthier team. I'm assuming going into this game, and I expect Puka to at least hit his receptions. Maybe not his yards, but his receptions at least in this game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I'm kind of with Pop. It's a little hard to know if I could pick the Niners in this game with with the injury report as it is today. But well, you know, if what certified said is correct, they'll get Trent back, they'll get Bosa back, they'll get a few of their guys back. Then I believe the 49ers could win the game. But since we're doing it today, I'm gonna lean slightly towards the Rams also. I think with the Rams being a little bit more healthy, a little bit more of their team being intact, I think they pull it out. Obviously, the first game was, as I just said, the injury bowl. The first time, I think both of them was missing a significant amount of starters. But in the second game, I think the 49ers, if the report doesn't change, will be still missing a significant amount of their offense and defensive players. Um, with the Rams being a little bit more healthy, I think the Rams pulled this one out in a close one. Um, yeah, man, that's the last game of Damn, we getting far, man. Before we know it,
Yeah,
we be
season almost
talking
up.
about playoff.
Yeah,
After this week, what every team only got what 4 games remaining, right?
for the most part, some may only have three, depending on when their bye week was. Mick, you
You
talking
muted.
on mute?
No, I think after this week, every team got 3 games because this is the last of the bye weeks right here.
I
So
got
yeah.
4 after this
Yeah,
week. I
You
got 4
sure?
after this week.
You
Yeah.
sure
yeah.
about
There's some teams that got
I'll only
four.
if I win. I'm only 10-2 today, Mick. So if I win,
nah,
I'm
but
I
I'm
only
talking
play
about
13 games.
but I'm talking about after this week, there's only 3 more games left.
No, I got
No, some
Commanders,
teams still got four.
Giants,
That's why I was saying, depending on when
Cowboys,
their
and
bye week
Steelers.
is, there's
That's kind of
teams that
impossible.
got 3 or 4 games left.
Yeah, if you haven't had a bye, you got 3 games left. If you had the bye, you got 4, right?
I believe so because I know because I looked at the Bucks schedule and they have 4 games
Yeah, it's what I said.
they're
Like after
just
this week, every team only has 3 games after this week.
yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you okay. So
Yeah,
next week, 3 games. I got you.
yeah, because I mean, like the teams that are on
You saying after?
after this week coming up, this week there's only 3 more weeks of football left.
And then we got playoffs for college coming up. Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
We
because I
get to
play
the
the
end.
Steelers,
Oh no no
I
no
play
no
the
no no.
Commanders, I play the Giants and the Cowboys.
And I made a mistake. So after this week, there's only 4 games left. That's what I meant to say. Not 3 games, 4 games.
Yeah, because don't the Bucks. Okay, the Bucks. I know they got the Saints. They got the Commanders. No, they played the Commanders. They got the Saints. They got the. I just looked at the Bucks schedule.
Well, yeah, I mean, like this is the last week of bye week. So after this week, nobody else is gonna have a bye. So yeah, like I made a mistake. I meant to say 4 games to the 3, but yeah, there's after this week, there's only 4 games left. I mean, for every team.
For every team.
1 month of football after Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for every
Jesus
team.
Christ.
I mean, because like I said, like this is the last. This week coming up. After this week, there are no more buys. So every team will be playing for the next 4 weeks.
Okay. Well, hey man, we come to the end of the show. We got 100 people on the head in here, man. If you're on the X side, I know I haven't said it all show, but if you could, man, come to the YouTube side, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ding that bell so you never miss none of this great content that the 4 people you see on the screen right now drop to you every week, Saturdays at 11 o'clock. Anything y'all got for the people before we get out of here?
Nope. But I mean, Iowa State just turned over the ball again. So yeah, this game about over.
God damn.
It's 31-10. But just like, subscribe, I mean, do all the stuff we say do every week, man. And we're gonna be back next week with I mean, some more content. And just keep tuning in, man. That's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah, keep tapping in. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Oh man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week.
Hey man, today's a bit college slate, so probably get rid of the game, man, and see if we can drop something for y'all today, man, as far as the space, man, so y'all can talk about a little bit of this college football playoff play out. Man, with that being
Hey,
said,
we got a nice little UFC card today too,
Yeah, I was
brother.
gonna say we got a banger UFC card for later today too, man.
maybe we start the space a little late and run it right into one another.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey man, look, catch y'all next week. Love, peace, and hair grease, man. We out.